Welcome in, everyone, to episode 209 of the Twastell podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng. I'm joined by the whole crew, Twastell on radio. We got PP Steve, Josh, Aegislash's best buddy, and then we got HurricaneKaz.
Hello.
Who is hopefully has mittens around.
Yeah.
I see mittens. I see mittens. I was going to say mittens, but he missed the cue. You know, he's like a second off. But I will say
he was like, no, I don't like being called out.
Well, if Vander's mittens too, he's not wearing headphones, so he doesn't even know what I'm saying.
You cannot hear.
You know, I still have to go back and watch the YouTube version of the last episode to see Kaz's dance.
Oh my gosh, Tristan, missing out.
Well, The thing is, I usually listen when I'm at work, so I can't really watch because I'm busy working.
I will say I don't watch either ever. I just listen.
When I listen, I mean, I put on the YouTube version because that's just easiest for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm typically not watching it unless like I hear a reference like that makes me look up. You know, so like.
Yeah. Did anyone figure out what Caleb did on the past episode?
I was going to ask you all.
Nope.
You had to be watching real carefully. We'll see if anyone in the comments noticed or not. But there's a chance, again, because who's listening to a podcast, even on YouTube, is staring at the screen the whole time, right? Like, it's just usually like some people just prefer to listen to on YouTube and once in a while have something to look at, right? So I don't blame people, but hey, you know, some loyal listeners maybe. Or watchers, I should say, because listening itself is not enough. Anyway, let's get into the events and everything because there's a lot to cover. A lot has been announced. I know Shiny Hunter Ben actually tagged me and Speedy Chief and like, hey, when you guys dropping your respective podcasts? Because Aegislash, I need to hear your takes on it, right? And so we were supposed to record actually tomorrow, but.
It depends who you
No,
ask.
we weren't.
Well, I don't know. That's the info I was told. But because it was a mix-up, not my fault. I won't say who, but it wasn't my fault or Kaz or Ethan's fault. But I won't say who. But so we're actually only recording this a couple hours. I mean, only like 1 or 2 hours after the Aegislash announcement. So. This is pretty fresh. Depending on how fast I can edit this, it'll be very, very fresh. And hopefully you're listening to it right when it drops. Anyway, before we get into the Aegislash stuff, let's talk about GoFest because I know that it was a big GoFest global weekend. I didn't go to the in-person GoFest, so I didn't really,
I know Kaz saw Jiraka.
Oh,
I did.
Turns out the guy is a little more social than we've been led on to believe.
Listen, only when it comes to other people bringing him out. I'm still just an acquaintance, I think.
He's only social because Kaz offered him up some baked goods, I think.
I did offer a apologetic strawberry pie.
Oh. I need to put Kaz on my bad side so that we can.
I need to find something to complain.
No, this is not an invitation to try and
just a heads up, Kaz. You know, I have no food allergies, so you know, feel free to insult me, and I'll.
It's true. That's how he knew that I was really sorry and that we are truly friends. Is that he has a gluten intolerance, and I went and got specifically gluten-free like flour substitute to bake him a special crust. I'm just saying I was sorry and I proved it.
Fair enough. Well, how was Global Go Fest for everyone? My most tragic part of it is I saw one shiny Skidoo and it ran from me because my Go Plus went for it. No. But there's a chance that I guess I wouldn't have caught it anyway, so I don't know.
I feel like the tales of the
Golden Raz and Ultra.
I feel like the tales of the misfortune of Caleb's Go Plus just keep striking.
Oh yeah. Well, I finally got redemption on my shiny Galarian Articuno though. I caught one of those actually.
Nice.
In New Orleans on the Uber trip to the hotel from the airport, and then I also saw Galarian Moltres at 100 CP, not shiny though, on the Sabin sense, and it ran, but you know. I got my trash one from the research. But I'm curious, how many shiny Zasha and Zamazenta did you all get? And how many did you do to get that?
raided about I want to say like 40 something Zamazenta and got no shinies of Zamazenta.
Okay.
No hundos either. I rated like 50 something Zacian and I did not get any hundos, but I got 2 shinies and one was the 98%, 15, 15, 14. So I immediately built that.
Okay, nice.
Called it a day.
Silver bottle caps win.
Yeah, right.
I think the 15, 15, 14 is actually a functional hundo, so I don't think you even need the bottle cap unless you like, unless you want like the nice number for the CP, but otherwise you don't even need it.
Nah, I'm not about to waste a bottle cap on something that doesn't necessarily need it when it's already so beautiful.
I mean,
what's the search string for age, by the way?
Age number. Like if you type in age 0, one word. Or age 0-1 will be 0 and 1 days, like 48 hours.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I
didn't do the dash.
So if you want to search within the past couple days, then you want to.
You can do like 0-4 or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got 2 shinies of each from Global. I don't know how many raids I did. I didn't really keep track.
I mean, does anyone want to guess?
I actually got more than. I got more than one. I got 2 Zamazenta and 45 raids. That's not the best odds, but it's not terrible, I guess.
2 out of 45.
45.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Love odds.
Like average is like 1 in 20. So 2
1 in
45, I guess.
I think
so.
is like.
It felt sparse for me, and then I did 27 Zacian raids and got 0 shinies of those. So I don't know. The people I was playing with got more, so that's why I feel a little salty. But
from what I saw online, I definitely feel like people had like more luck with one than the other for some reason.
I don't know. What I saw online, most people were complaining that they felt like the shiny rates on the dogs were low, and they felt like they weren't getting very many in general.
I think it's hard cope. It's just straight. Like, this is just gambler's fallacy shenanigans.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
no. No. I mean, I already had a shiny of each one. I'm not like a huge raider. I don't play Master League very often. So like, it wasn't really a big deal to me. I just wanted enough energy to be able to like, change the one that I wanted to. Were you guys shinies with backgrounds or without backgrounds?
I had one shiny with background, the other did not.
Yeah, because I didn't get any Zamazenta shinies at all during this event, so I got plenty with the background, but none were shiny. And then I think one of my Zacian shinies was the background, and it was not the good one, so that tracks.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get more bottle caps down the road. I didn't get anything too crazy outside of.
I'm assuming Steve's lack of response means he didn't do any raids.
Hey, I didn't do 0.
Wait, did you have the ticket?
Australia's #1 grinder.
I had the ticket.
Because if you had the ticket, don't you get like 10 free raids per day or something?
Yeah. So I was using my raid passes. But I did 2 Zamazenta raids, and I got 0 shinies, obviously. And then I didn't raid Zacian at all. I did 2 legendary raids all weekend.
Well, I was going to ask if you guys evolved King Gambits, but obviously the answer is no for Steve.
I did, yeah. I
did, yeah. I actually remembered I was very good. I evolved the three that I wanted to that had like good stats for each one.
I evolved that, and I evolved Runarigus. Because I recently got one from
I forgot about that evolution thingy.
Smart.
Yeah. Thank you for a compliment. Once in a while I have some good ideas.
Once in a while Caleb knows how to play this game.
Yeah. I don't think the event was bad by any means. I do think that with the golden bottle cap being released around the same time, it made people enjoy the event even more because they're able to help finish up some of that task, which was nice.
I like the better catch rate on the premier balls. That's always a nice bonus when they give it out. Because otherwise you're spending like half your time like trying to catch the Pokemon as opposed to like doing more raids and catching wild stuff. Like that's a great bonus.
It's a win-win for everyone too, because the players obviously You can raid more, you can catch faster, you can play more of the events. And for Scopely, people spend more raid passes and resources doing other stuff in the events. Like, why not?
However, I will say I actually made it to level 50 as well this weekend.
Oh, nice.
And I got that level 50 research, and it says like make 5 excellent throws in a row, and I was like, well, that's never gonna happen.
on the raid
because of the premier no, exactly, because of the premier balls, it was always staying in on the first ball, and I was like,
well, then you just gotta remote raid 4 right after, you know, or just have an auto catcher on before you do the next raid.
I see the strat now.
I mean, or you could just do whatever raids out right now.
The other thing I really liked was that the incense spawns seemed highly weighted towards like the regionals, which was really nice. Because in the past, like they've been doing like exclusive incense spawns for ticket holders for a while for these events, but a lot of the past ones, the incense pool was like diluted with a lot of the regular wild spawns, and it was annoying because you were only getting the special things like, I don't know, like 1 in every like 5 spawns or something annoying like that. But this time it felt like a really high rate, which was nice because it meant that you could catch a bunch of these, you know, special exclusive Pokemon. So I was a big fan of that personally.
I also liked that it was the you didn't have to be walking for it to be effective. When you were staying still, you were still, at least if you weren't getting anything else, you were at least getting those like regional spawns on your incense if you bought the ticket, which was really helpful because we ended up on Saturday. We ended up getting caught in the rain, and we're just sitting under a bridge for like 30 minutes waiting for it to stop.
Yeah, that checks out.
But at least I could still check Skiddo.
Yeah. Well, I spent most of my Sunday like doing content and stuff, and so I was just like sitting down at the computer, and so it was nice to be able to get like the regionals, which, if I'm being honest, were the only spawns that I cared about like that much in each hour anyway. So it's sort of like, I can ignore the fluff and just get what I actually want.
A lot of the other spawns each hour were a little underwhelming, to be honest, but
I thought it was for older players. It's like, you know, new players can be more excited than us.
Oh yeah, that's very true. I think a lot of people probably were excited to see some of these spawns, but overall, I wasn't trying to grind anything too hard. I got a few things that I wanted. Torkoal was the only regional that liked me. 3 shiny Torkoal, no other shiny regional.
Same actually.
Rude.
Same exact numbers, Kaz.
Oh my god. Twins.
Yeah, I like played a like medium amount, nothing crazy. On Sunday I actually went to the Seattle Pride Parade. And so I just sort of had my Go plus just catching things in the background, and then like occasionally I would pull up the app to just like right at like the hour and half hour to like do the raids by me, and then I would sort of just let the button do the rest of the work in between. So that was like more of a casual day, but that was pretty fun to go be at the Pride Parade, but also be able to play a little Pokemon Go on the side.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Happy Pride.
Shout out the plus.
Yeah.
Shout out to the plus besides mine.
Oh, my favorite catch though for the whole weekend was I got a Nundo Pachi on my incense.
Ooh.
And it was actually the exact same CP as the Nundo Pachi that had previously spawned at the 2019 Go Fest in Chicago that my local friend Sushi had caught. So we actually have the exact same Nundo Pachi caught like 7 years apart.
Yeah, yours
that's fun.
A little bit later.
Long lost twins.
Yeah, those are called we're going to rant if I say that. But I was going to say quaternary twins. No. I saw
we've already
TikTok on this.
We have already talked about this long enough.
Anyway, if you know what a quaternary twin is, let me know down below. It's a pretty weird niche thing for twins. Anyway, okay. Let's hopefully everyone had a good Go Fest and spent their golden battle cap by now, because I think they had to have spent it by now, right?
No, you have like 5 more days.
Yeah, I think.
You have 5 more days to think about how you shouldn't use it on a shiny Guzzlord for Great League. But if you want to do that, be my guest.
I'm a little more supportive of Butters on that one than others, to be honest with you. But
will you use it?
You never know.
Okay. For those that don't understand the context, let me explain it, because it happened on X/Twitter. Oh, that's so cute. He made his banner photo, me and him casting. Well, now I feel bad for roasting him a little bit, but not that bad. All right, so he posted. He posted a picture of. I totally know on X. He said, "I totally know this, but asking for a friend. Can I use my golden bottle cap and only redeem a couple of stats to get this to 1500 CP, or will Guzzlord just be doomed to become a shundo over time?" So he had a 1483 shiny Guzzlord, obviously eligible for Great League. Fun fact: I'm pretty sure that I was here. I saw this trade happen. This is a trade with Michael Staronka actually back in Sacramento 2023, in October, because I saw them do this trade and his went under 1500 and Michael Staronka got his went over, but his was like a really high rank one for like Ultra League.
Okay.
So they both got pretty good shiny Guzzlords, but I was trying to improve his a bit. And so I looked into it. I was like, how much could this really improve by, right? So I messed around with the stats. The most he could do is bump this 4 HP Guzzlord to, it's a 110 4 HP Guzzlord, to a 110 14 HP stat Guzzlord, which gives this Guzzlord a total of only 6 HP, right? And it already has 265, right? So I was like, dude, like, you're spending $20 on a golden bottle cap for 6 more HP on a non-relevant Great League Pokemon? Like, this can't be right.
Wait, but could he not like bump up the attack by like 1 or 2 and like bump the defense up to 15 or something and leave the HP low?
I looked into it, and the best way to use it is actually just giving it all to HP.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and plus, I mean, especially for Guzzlord, you're not really winning charge like priority against a lot of things. So higher attack is not really. You want it to be bulky, right?
But the rank 1 Guzzlord has 1 attack, and his Guzzlord has 1 attack.
Yeah, but what's the rest of the stats?
Like 1, 15, 15.
Yeah, he can't bump the defense higher because then it's going to go.
Oh, because of the level.
Yeah, it has to be level. It's level 20, right? So,
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's the thing you have to keep in mind is like what level it's at, because like I had this conversation with someone about like Mew, for example, and like depending on the stats of your Mew, if you've already powered your Mew up to Great League CP, which is usually level 16.5, you might not be able to fully maximize a bottle cap because the increases could push it over. Dang. Now, I was looking, but it depends, because like, for example, I have a Mew that's like at like 16 and a half, and it's like a 10, 11, 11 or 10, 11, 10 or something. So I could actually bottle cap that to a rank 1 for Great League, because it has the 10 attack stat and it's like a 1460 CP right now. So like everything I bump it up would keep it under Great League, but just make the stats better.
Now, see, that makes sense, right? But we're gonna add 6 more HP to a Guzzlord, like, and he said, "I don't know, the Guzzlord doesn't have a lot of HP to begin with." I was like, "It has 265."
Guzzlord has one of the most HP of any.
You
Pokemon
go from 265 to 231. Like, that's like if I use a golden bottle cap on a Bastion to get like 5 more defense. Like, what? Like, I don't think I'm gonna hit another bulk point, but I could be wrong.
Wait, so who here got the bottle cap? And then, if you got it, what did you use it on?
I did. I actually ended up shilling out because at first on Friday I like was not very far on the pass track, so I was like, I don't think it's worth it. And then of course with all the Go Fest and rating and everything, I like completed it in no time, and I was like,
some pretty good rewards too, right? Besides just the bottle cap. Like,
because I waited until like literally the last minute, like 5:30 on Sunday to buy it. And so all my research immediately like filled in, and I went through and I just like clicked claim all, and my screen just filled with stardust. I was like, this is the funniest thing to ever happen.
I will say so we've talked about how like the ball the pass, like you can just buy it at the end if you want the rewards, and that's true. But this one, they actually had bonuses that you unlocked at different levels on the premium. So it was like there was like a reduced egg distance, and I think you got like an extra like XL from raids or something, and bonus hatch dust and stuff. So
I got those bonuses for the last 30 minutes. And then I think I put this on Twitter today, but I did use mine on a lucky Kanto Farfetch'd that I was traded by Melgood from Japan, and I was like, I never stopped believing in him.
I am considering bottle capping. I haven't decided yet, but I have a.
I wish I had a shiny, because I know you do.
Yeah, I have a shiny from Worlds from Japan, so that's in consideration. It's like that, but I also have like the option for the rank 1 Mew. I have an option for a rank 1 Great League Cress, or like a rank 5 Galarian Corsola. So like I'm sort of weighing those all up. I think the
Cress is more useful than the Guzzlord, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't say.
I mean, neither are meta relevant right now, but like that one, I don't
have the Guzzlord, but it's like rank 1 Mew, rank 1 Cress, rank 5 Corsola, or the Farfetch'd. Or the other one, I don't know, is so I found someone local to mirror swap Galarian Moltres, and I was gonna say, depending on the IVs of that, I might bottle cap that. And we're supposed to trade tonight at the Mariners Pokemon Go night. But then I realized that right now with the current anniversary event, there's a bonus for higher likelihood of lucky Pokemon. So now I don't know if it makes sense to do this trade, because I'd be really sad if it went lucky.
Yeah, I would leave it personally.
So to answer your question, I'm just working on my shiny Meloetta for Master League.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the kind of basic standard answer that some PvPers do, just because you can't trade mythicals outside of
Meltan.
What do you call it?
Meltan. Yeah, that's it.
And yeah, like, and the odds of us getting another Meloetta or it being 100% is pretty low. It's not super meta relevant anymore, especially with all the crown forms and steals running around, but it's more useful than a Zarude, and probably more useful than Zarude will ever be. Zarude's just like, even at his peak, it's kind of like its peak was kind of low, right? And
definitely. Yeah, I feel like if Master League is your focus, Meloetta makes a lot of sense.
And I'm not a big Master League player, but I'd like to have at least like as many options as possible, so that when I can run it if I need to. And then once in a while, I might have something that can help scrim someone for Battle Frontier.
Yeah.
Problem with Battle Frontier is like there's just like 100% like Virizion and stuff running around. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna. I have 100% Virizion, but I'm not going to dump XL candies into it. You know, rare candies into it. So there's some stuff that I just can't really use, but. That's my look. Honestly, like I'm mostly just roasting butters. Like if I think at the end of the day, it's everyone's own money that they spent, and they can use it on whatever they want to use it on. If you want to make a freaking rank 1 Weedle for Little Cup, have at it, right? Like,
I mean,
can I still buy them?
No,
Josh is like inspired.
I think
you better buy it soon, right? Because don't you? Oh no, it's too late.
Right? You can't buy it anymore.
No, next month's.
I mean, I've said,
I don't know if it's the case or not. I'm just saying. So.
But yeah, I've said this elsewhere. But like at the end of the day, like there's no right or wrong answer on how to use the bottle cap. Like obviously, we can all talk about like sort of the more like optimal answers in terms of like if you care about like having the most meta relevant Pokemon with the best stats, right? But there's no right or wrong answer, because some people will prioritize, PvP, but obviously there's different leagues for that. Some people will prioritize things for raids. Some people will prioritize something with sentimental value, or some combination. Like I know someone that bottle capped like a shiny Nihilego they got from an in-person Go Fest with the background, and it's like, yeah, it's not the most relevant, but it has some niche use in raids, some niche use in the Master League, and it has cool sentimental value. So like, at the end of the day, do whatever makes you happy with your bottle cap.
Yeah, exactly. I had a friend ask me who doesn't play very often, and she asked me what she should spend it on, and I was like, honestly, just wherever you have emotional investment, however you play the game is where you should invest that money back into. And if that's just something for sentimental value, go for it, because it's yours ultimately. She was like, I'm gonna do my Rapidash. I was like, great, love that.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy, right? And the other one I've seen a little bit popping up is some people have been doing like their shiny Pachirisu, which I think also makes a lot of sense. If Great League is your main priority and you don't have Apache built yet, I think that can be a very good option too. So really it just comes down to personal preference, what leagues you like. If you have any, sentimental value, like, the Far-Fetched for Kaz has a lot of, personal value. It's a bird, right? I think Zimmy Kid also did a Far-Fetched.
He actually he tagged me on one of the Discords we share and was like, the deed is done. I love it for us. I love it.
Now, it has been 25 minutes and we haven't talked about any of the new announcements.
Let's get into it. Let us know what you spent your bottle cap on and if Butter should have spent his on the Guzzlord or not. Anyway, that being said, let's talk about July because we are in July right now, July 2nd at the time of this recording. 3rd for Steve. But July content, a bunch of different things happening. So this is pretty big actually. Solgaleo and Lunala are spawning in raids. Oh, and Virizion too, actually. So maybe I could build that 100%.
There you go.
Terrakion too. I actually have 100% of that too. I actually, I could build some of these things. I just don't have the resources, but I have the IVs. But Solgaleo and Lunala are pretty big. And again, this is one of the big reasons why I didn't spend the bottle cap on something like a Solgaleo or Lunala or whatever, because there's stuff that are in raids or could be in raids, right? Zygarde as well, it's not you can't trade them now, but it's technically legendary, and down the road you might be able to. I'm also really dead set on holding on to my Zygarde and not powering it up, because the only way you get a Great League Zygarde is if you re-roll the one you got from research. Yeah. And obviously you can always get one from someone else, but you have way more trade potential with your own to offer up, right? So
I've also heard, obviously totally unconfirmed, but there's people that are speculating that with the release of Legends ZA, maybe there would be another Zygarde event or research or something in game. So I know Zygarde was a popular bottle cap option for some people, and if you went for that, I think it's totally valid and you can get your mileage out of it. But there is other people that are sort of the camp of wait, because maybe we'll get another Zygarde soon, sort of a deal. So to each their own.
You'll definitely get more mileage of a Master League Zygarde than a Great League Shiny Guzzlord.
The other one for Master League is I've seen people using on Urshifu, which I think does make some sense. Mm-hmm. But the thing I didn't realize until I saw someone point it out is that, but also Urshifu actually has a G-Max form. So these are Dynamax Urshifus, but at some point, theoretically, we'll be getting G-Max Urshifus down the road.
You're going to wish you spent that golden bottle cap on that one.
That's something to keep in mind, too. Anyways, back to July content. Lunala in raids, which is a big deal because it just got Shadow Claw. So it's one of the top Master League Pokemon right now, too. So I do like that they lined it up like this. They buffed it and then are now giving everyone a chance to raid for it and get those resources and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Notably, after everyone, the whales have had a chance to give it a run.
Right, sure.
Get in. Actually, it's even, it's going into raids, Lunala, from July 22nd to July 28th. Master League is going to be running from July 15th to July 22nd.
Tragic.
So if you submitted all of your rare XLs into there, you've still got a week to whale it out before everyone else can get it.
Yeah. But that's
treasure it.
These are definitely cool raids. So, and then Cobalion, Virizion definitely really strong in Ultra League still, and then Terrakion, it's a good raid attacker. Maybe has some play here or there in Master League, but it's not very good in Ultra. Anyway, and then we have Mega Raids, Aggron, Charizard X, Blastoise, Venusaur, Aerodactyl. Nothing too crazy there. And the Shuckle comes in Dynamax. One of my patrons actually asked, is there any use of this? And I said, well, if you want another chance to get a good, great, Little Cup, 100% Shuckle, go for it. But otherwise, not too much. Shuckle, Ghastly, Wilmer, Darmaka, and Kabuto.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Steve, finally, they have listened to your pleas and prayers.
DynaCat Steve is gonna be at it this month.
I assume they're just rewarding me for being such a hardcore Dynamax raider. As the biggest Dynamax
battler.
I will say, now that we have the crown forms, I finally have something to bring to the max battles because I got the crowned Zacian and Zamazenta instead of my level 20 Excadrill that gets one shot from Wild Charge still. Anyway, I was just like, how's this extra code getting one shot by a wild charge? Like, this isn't double resisted.
It's level
20. Yeah, but still, this wasn't even G Max. This was a Dynamax Raikou. How bad could it be? Anyway,
all right. Anything else interesting?
No, not really. We have a bunch of events and stuff, but that's about it. In Spotlight Hour.
Is there any good Spotlight Hours? Or
2 times Candy Transfer for July 22nd is about it for Jigglypuff. But
none of the Pokemon are interesting.
Pikachu and Party Happened that happened like yesterday, so that's 2 times Stardust. So if you somehow travel to the future to listen to the episode and went back in time, then great. But if you travel to the future to listen to this episode, I feel like you should have better things you could have done. But and then Shadow Pokemon is going to be Registeel, so that's a good one too to get some extra XL candies. Always, I still need some to make a secondary XL. Registeel.
Yeah. All right. What events do we have now?
Yeah, so that's going to be that. And then obviously there's a lot of events in July. There's also a Battle Pass, or a Go Pass, I should say. The Battle Pass is happening all throughout Go Battle League. So this pass is July 1st to August 5th. There's a deluxe version as well. You encounter Zapdos with Delightful Days special background. Ooh, I got a shiny Articuno with the Delightful Days background actually from June. So
shame it's not great.
Good. I also got a 100% Regidrago too, man. I should start post some of these stuff too. Reaping some clout like Butters has.
Did you guys get any Great League Regidrago?
No. Yeah. But is it that good? Because I faced some and they're just like, dude. I'm telling you how bad it is. I ran Bastion and Go Battle League. I did make a second one. And I didn't throw a single move at it, and I still was able to smack it down all the way.
I mean, it's got like a mono dragon moveset, I think. But like,
but Dragon Energy is pretty nuts, no?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember the stats,
but Bastion handled it pretty well. But I mean, I think it's definitely better than Reggie Alecki for sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool that you could cycle through the encounters 6 times. I only made it 1.5 because I was kind of lazy that week until like the last bit of the hour. But
I was trying to like power through them all on Friday, thinking I could just remote raid into like Zamas from like APAC, but I didn't find enough raids early enough to get through all 6 pages. I think I got through like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But you didn't find enough. I mean, brother, there's Discords that have like infinity raids.
No, I mean like I was a little off on time zones, I think too. So like they were starting later on than I thought. I don't know. Right. Anyways, I was counting on Steve to do some raids, and he let me down.
In a move that surprises no one.
Your first mistake was counting on Steve to do raids.
You're not wrong. Mistakes were made.
That's a big one. That's all on you.
It's like counting on Butters to spend his gold bottle cap on something useful.
Oh my god.
I don't know how many times I can roast him for it, but
it's already
dead. All right, well, I guess we got to tag Butters for this week's team.
Me too. Traders, so if you get the Deluxe, you get Lucky Trinkets. That's pretty much the main thing, and then some other stuff.
Yeah, that's about it.
So as of now, no extra golden bottle cap kind of stuff. But who knows? Maybe like it's like every half year, every yearly thing. I feel like, and this is someone that doesn't have any extra info ahead of time, right? So don't quote me on this later. But my personal opinion is that I think prediction, I should say, is that there's going to be more. Whether it's a golden ball cap or a silver ball cap or something, there's no
wait,
the last one.
Caleb, the alternative is like they never give one again.
And they don't.
This is Scopely, not Niantic. They actually want to make some money here.
When they can make 20 American doll hairs, from
back
selling
a couple years ago when Niantic did this, they've been like, "Oh, hold up now, no one's going to raid no shining Guzzlord now if we keep handing out these golden bottle caps. We got to stop it."
The one other thing is there are a couple milestones. It says at rank 25, you unlock a bonus for 50% more XP from increasing friendship levels. At rank 50, you get increased XP and Stardust from research breakthrough awards. And at rank 75, you get increased Stardust and XP from hatching eggs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah,
so
okay.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
There's that. We do have another July event. So this one's probably not the best, but I don't know. It's doing Lilligant's Raid Day. So they'll be making a debut, Hisuian Lilligans, and it could be shiny with its debut, which is kind of nice. Remote raid battle pass increased to 20 from Friday to Saturday. You get 5 additional free raid passes from spinning photo disc gems for a total of 6 that you get from your daily, and an increased chance of encountering shiny Hisuian Lilligans from raids. And then
the raid day itself is Saturday, July 12th from 2 to 5 p.m.
Yes, that would be important information that I left out.
I wanted to get that in before you got too far ahead of yourself.
Thank you for that. And then if you buy the event ticket for $5 or your converted currency, you get 8 additional raid passes. That's pretty much the main thing. You get rare XL candy.
So Hisuian Lilligant is grass fighting, it looks like, by the way.
That's what I'd
is it useful for anything? It's like a chestnut Virizion.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really going to be better than Chestnut or Virizion is the thing. We don't really know what the stats or potential moves might be, but I wouldn't expect it to be anything crazy. Again, I think the grass fighting we already have is probably going to be better.
Look, I hope it's not good because I hate how it looks. I've never seen this Pokemon before, and I don't like it.
It was actually quite terrifying in Legends Arceus. Like,
if that thing runs at you.
Yeah, exactly. When it was in that enraged form, and it would just speed run. It would like Naruto run at you, and I was absolutely terrified. Like, no.
Yeah, I need to see this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that.
All right, and it doesn't look like there's any like exclusive move for this raid day, so we actually have like no idea what moves it might get on release.
Yeah, I will say if you look at the non-Hisuian forms, so some of them there might be overlap. We don't know, but it's got Charm, Hidden Power, and Leaf, Magical Leaf for fast attacks, and then charge attacks, Hyper Beam, Petal Blizzard, and Solar Beam. So and Hyper Beam. Sorry. I think I said something twice or something. I don't know. Hyper Beam, Petal Blizzard, Solar Beam is a 3. So
not the best moveset if it gets a similar one.
So it can't be worse than regular Lilligans. I don't know if it'd be better though. But.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that like there's nothing said in here about you being you being able to evolve your pet Lil like into this new form at this time or anything. So I mean, if you need this. Like, if you want this for the decks, just make sure you do at least one raid.
Yeah, no. Call back in 4 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's probably something worth at least just spend the free raid passes on if you like.
Yeah.
It should be pretty easy to take out because they'll be flying. So
yeah.
All right, July Community Day. We did not do our predictions for this one in time, but it has been announced. It is Quaxly, which I think maybe we would have guessed anyway, besides Kaz.
No, they've betrayed me now. They've betrayed my entire ideas about whatever system they have.
Kaz is shook.
And I'll never recover.
I mean, you'll never recover after there's 12 shinies going down the drain.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually pretty good for me not to have those in my storage still for Go Fest weekend. So, thank you.
Think about all the shiny Torkoal you got because of that, right? That you had storage for. So, July 20th, Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. is Quaxly Community Day. I feel like it's been a second since we had it on a Sunday. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm glad it's still the 2 to 5. Yeah. And then obviously Quaxly can be shiny. The evolved form will learn Hydro Cannon, Quackable, which I honestly hate the sound of that Pokemon's name because it sounds like anytime I say it, I feel like cuckling as like a chicken or something.
Well, the other thing I hate about
what I mean?
Is like a lot of people just for shorthand write QUAQ, which if you're not paying close attention looks like Quag for short. So it's really easy to
especially
mix them
lowercase
up.
q. Yeah,
exactly.
And
then it will
I'm just saying Quackable. If you just say it like because Kaz, your husband doesn't know Pokemon very well, right? If you just start screaming Quackable 5 times, he's gonna be like, "Why are you imitating a chicken right now?"
He'll know what it is. Like if he hears anything that he doesn't understand from me, he just assumes it's Pokemon.
Well, if I said this to my parents, they definitely
he'll assume it's other Pokemon or a bird. In this case,
it's either both. It's one of two things.
In this case, it's both.
It is a bird. It is a bird.
So we also have, starting with the event and continuing afterwards, it will be able to learn the charge attack Aqua Step. And they said Aqua Step is going to be 55 power in trainer battles and increases attack by 1 stage. We obviously have no idea what the energy is going to be, but if it was 35 energy, I believe that would be a Rage Fist clone.
Yeah, I think the tough part with water primary Pokemon is that anytime for these communities, because they always get Hydro Cannon, right? And then sometimes they'll get like a secondary move, like Razor Shell for Samurats. I don't know if there's other examples, but
Muddy Water.
Well, yeah. Was Muddy Water like a move just given to
Swampert?
Well, yeah, but it already had Muddy Water before, right? I'm just saying, like when they give it like an extra.
No, I think it was given on its community.
Oh, okay. Either way, I think that the tough part here is that pretty much if you look at all the past water Pokemon like that have been released, almost none of them use the secondary move because Hydro Cannon's just so good and it's fairly cheap already. Whereas like fire Pokemon makes sense, right? With like Blaze Kick and stuff, because Blast Burn is so energy intensive.
Yeah, for sure.
Going for that is like, or like Torch Stomp for Skeldurge. Who's running Blast Burn Skeldurge, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like with Skeldurge, people opted for Torch Song instead of Blast Burn because of like, not only is it a speedier move, but I mean, it has that really nice secondary effect.
Right.
And I mean, Hydro Cannon's really good, but I don't know. It could be useful to have like a buffing.
Yeah, depending on the energy, I think this has potential to be one of the few moves that actually gets used.
I hope so. Yeah.
Again,
just
I think
to be clear, I guess quick correction. Rage Fist is 50 damage, not 55. So if it was 35 energy, it would actually be better than Rage Fist, which feels unlikely unless they're really trying to buff this thing.
Oh no!
Unlikely unless they're really trying to get people to actually use it.
But I think, I don't know, I haven't checked it, but like I would think that if it was any more than 35 energy, no one's going to use Aqua Step. But if it is 35 energy, it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like Aqua Tail, except with a buffing move. Like, it's just strictly better.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I agree with what Caleb was saying. It's one of my frustrations in general with how they've handled these, like, secondary signature moves for all the primary partner Pokemon. Because, like, most of them, I think, like, Blaze Kick and Torch Song are the only two that really see any use. And all the rest of them are just like throwaways that have no purpose really. And like, I wish they would have taken the like water shuriken approach for more of these, because like that was actually really good, right? Greninja, they made water shuriken a fast move, and so it was actually usable and viable. And water shuriken is what makes Greninja good. And I feel like they could have and should have taken that approach with more of these moves, because I think it would make the moves more usable, and because they're signature moves, they're pretty customizable to those Pokemon, and you can sort of tailor them to make them as good or not as you want with like no other collateral. So that's sort of my one frustration with how they've handled those moves, because I feel like they could have gotten a lot more mileage out of them if they were designed as fast attacks instead.
Yeah,
I'm okay with Quaxlivle being bad.
You just inserted an X in there somewhere.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what its name was. I've never read it in my life.
Kaz, are you going to accept this bird slander?
It's like the Quaxwell's in there, Quaxley's around. It's not incomprehensible that it might have had an X in there.
Shame on you, Steven.
I won't learn.
Yeah, using his formal fake name.
That means I'm in real trouble.
Yeah.
And then the one other thing
I shouldn't call you Joshua, then you're really in trouble.
I think the one other thing worth noting is that the bonus for this one is 3 times catch Stardust.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that too. So definitely a good one. 2 times candy as well.
Yeah, it's all the standard other bonuses that happen for every community day, but it's the triple.
You can take a few snapshots for a surprise. I wonder what the surprise is. That could be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a Sprigatito.
Can you imagine?
That'd be.
It'll be a Palmy.
Honestly, that'd be one of those times where you're like, oh, the devs definitely messed up the code here, but I kind of could just laugh at this because unless it's weather booster for me, I don't really care too much about the encounters.
It'll be a Jangmo just to troll Kaz.
Hey, she could take 5 more shiny Jangmo.
It's true. I have the space.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have next?
All right, we have ourselves the Ultra Unlocks, kicking off with Hisui Celebration. Well, this was obviously part of the Ultra Unlock that we, collectively achieved through Global Go Fest. Tuesday, July 8th, 10 a.m. to July 13th, 8 p.m. And Pokemon debut. So we get Hisuian Zorua, and then, of course, the evolution Hisuian Zoroark will make their debut. And then Space-Time Anomalies return. Keep an eye out for on the sky for mysterious phenomena. Phenomena? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yes.
How's that different from phenomenon?
It's the plural.
Oh, okay. I learn every day. Phenomena appearing during this event. See, look, for the kids listening too, this is a great English lesson too. English learning podcast.
From these all native English speakers, learn to speak.
Hey, English is my second language, okay? So I might have learned that too, but still, it's still not my native language. We also learned plenty about animal biology and stuff during the Kaz Corner, so quite the educational podcast, if I do say so myself. Anyway, space-time anomalies are connecting our world to the distant past, and you might encounter different Pokemon when they appear.
Is that a thing we've ever had before?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It says it returns. So.
I've never heard of it.
I don't know. It's just like a weird, like, nebulous paragraph, like sentence from them that doesn't actually say much.
I assume this means we're getting like Hisuian Pokemon in the wild, because it says the distant past, and Hisui is supposed to be like set in the past, right?
I was thinking about like Ultra Beast or something, because space-time anomalies.
There was like a Go Fest, I think, a few years ago where we had like you would literally see like the galaxies in the sky and everything. And when that would happen, the spawns would all change for a limited period of time.
Yeah, I found it. So it's mirroring something that happens in Legends Arceus, where if you're running around in the overworld, little spheres of space-time anomalies appear, and Pokemon from either the future or past can appear. And in Sinnoh for Pokemon Go, they had this for like 5 minutes of the hour. They would throw in the Hisuian variants, which I'll be honest, like even reading that, I do not remember this at all. And I played the full Sinnoh Tour, and I just don't remember.
I remember the Hisuian variants like coming out, but I don't remember it being like, oh, look in the sky to see when it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and the way they worded this, like, it's like they're expecting us to remember what happened in the past. That's why I asked, because I was like, it's clearly written in a way that this probably happened before, and they think we know what happened before, but like, clearly I would assume most people don't remember that specifically, so...
I mean, maybe they think it's really cool and would be like, oh yeah, that was a really awesome thing, and we just didn't notice. Sorry guys. I know you probably worked really hard on it.
Yeah. Okay, so but the typing on this is pretty interesting. Zoroark Hisuian.
Oh yeah, it's normal ghost, right?
Normal ghost. The stat product is pretty similar to non-Hisuian Zoroark.
I think it's actually squishier.
It is. It's got less HP. Yeah, so it's got less HP. So
the typing is cool in theory because it's the only type combination that can wall the fighting ghost coverage combination. Mm-hmm. But with how squishy it is, it's not really going to be walling much of anything.
Yeah.
Like, resisted damage is going to feel like neutral damage, and neutral damage is going to feel like super effective damage because it's glassier than like a Gengar.
Yeah, I don't know if the movesets are fully like accurate or not, but on PvPoke it says Shadow Claw, Snarl, for the fast attacks. Shadow Claw itself is fine, especially when you get stabbed with it. For charge attacks, Flamethrower, Foul Play, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb. I mean, the moves are okay. They're not like nothing crazy, but nothing bad, right? Like it's like a Coffagrigus with better coverage,
right? But it's like 10 times squishier than a Coffagrigus.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be mostly like a spice / meme type pick, just because it's so glassy. But
I think so.
The typing is going to be really interesting though to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Are there other ghost normal types?
No.
In Pokemon.
It's the only one.
It's the only one, like even in all future generations.
I mean,
at least until maybe the next game comes out, who knows what's going to happen.
Caleb, we don't know what we don't know.
Well, I don't know what I don't know either, and I don't know, which is why I asked you all, because I didn't know.
Yeah, we have no idea, but it's only with that type coverage combo so far.
Okay. No. What I was trying to ask is, because I think I asked it in a too general format, is what I was asking is there anything down the road that we could potentially get also with Ghost? Ghost normal that I'm not aware of.
Down the road, Caleb, what do you mean? That anything can come out of the next game. You
know, right?
That's already out in the main series game, is all I'm saying. All right, well, good to know. Wild Spawns here, nothing too crazy. Hisuian Quillfish, probably the best like PvP relevant one. Obviously Hisuian Zorua is going to be around. It can't be shiny though, so just keep that in mind. And then everything else is nothing too crazy. You can take a look.
Bergmite, Rufflet, Hisuian Voltorb,
nothing too crazy. Raids, nothing too wild. Wordier, Cleavor, Hisuian Avalugg. Hisuian Avalugg maybe for like.
That's probably the best one of all the raids. Unknown U is going to be in 1-star raids. And then I think we skipped the event bonuses. Which is 4 times XP for catching Pokemon. The big one here, 4 times Stardust for catching Pokemon. That's massive.
Screw Com Day.
Right?
Are we doing a Stardust bet or what?
Increased chance to encounter shiny Hisuian Voltorb and shiny Hisuian Quillfish. Increased chance to encounter shiny unknown U from raids.
Hold on. Are Aldinos still nesting?
I mean, I haven't seen one in a while, but
I don't really go to nests in general, right? But if Aldino nests are still spawning 4 times Stardust for catching Pokemon, dude, my buddy Henry sent me a DM the other day, and he's like, "Hey, time to grind some Aldino nests," because the last time I grinded it like almost a year ago was with him, and I'm like, "What? Why?" Now I know. He never responded why, but I think he just read the announcement before I did. He's more on the PvE side, but yeah, I think that's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest part of the event. Honestly, is that 4 times Stardust. Yeah. The spawns aren't anything like crazy exciting, but
are we doing a Stardust bet or what?
No, you're gonna go grind Ordino nests.
So what?
And we don't even know if we'll have one.
Well, we don't even know if there are any, but you're acting like the Ordino nests only spawn in LA or something.
They do.
As far as I'm concerned.
As far as we know, they do.
Anyways, Ultra Unlock.
You gotta lean into this more, right? Because you know Steve's not going to outgrind you. So as long as you don't lose, you're fine.
It is on all of your best interests to really push for a Stardust bet.
I just know that Steve won't accept though, because why would he?
Because I'm a silly little guy.
just a small creature.
Yeah. Well, I'll personally just take a screenshot just to see how much I end up getting, but
all right.
But surely this isn't the coolest part of the Ultra Unlock, right?
Yeah, let's move on to what everyone's here for.
All right. What are you here for, Shiny Hunter Ben?
More 4 times Stardust event, which this also is.
Oh, it is?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, these Ultra Logs, hey, that's actually not too bad. It's kind of like Ultra Log back in 2023, that September, where we had like 2 full weeks of it, but they were the starters of Scarlet and Violet. But now this is kind of cool. It's Steel and Scales Ultra Unlock, 22nd of July to 27th, and the following Pokemon this first discovered in Kalos region will make their Pokemon Go debut: Honedge, Doublade, Aegislash. Now, some people have been clamoring for these for a while, and nowadays they're like screaming that they don't want it available because, well, we'll get into that why. 4 times XP for catching Pokemon, 4 times Stardust for catching Pokemon as well. Increased chance of getting Shiny Bagon, Beldum, and Unknown U only in raids. During the event, Honedge will appear both in Pokemon Go Battle League rewards track starting at rank 6, and it will appear more frequently in the premium track. For once, we understand why you might want to spend our premium pass. Well done, Scopely. You're like, hey, look, let's actually try to convince people to spend money on something rather than just,
I mean, this is what they did. This is what they did for like Rookidee too. In fairness, this wasn't a new thing.
True. I just know that like Yasser always posts like every 3 months when it's like the track where it's like you have 5 encounters for both free and premium. He's like, I'm asking for like the 50th time. What is the difference? There's a difference now.
If this is the same way that it was,
if you're still on that step when this comes out,
you're probably a South Korean player.
I remember I remember a lot of Rookidee like that I caught in Go Battle League when it was first introduced through this, and I didn't do any premium tracks, so could still be pretty good.
Yeah, I got quite a few from the free as well, but
and hopefully you did do free, because now Rookidee spawned never in the last event. It's in this event as well, and shiny ahead of the community day, and we got a community day as well down the road.
Yeah.
Oh,
guys!
Oh, shoot!
I still have a 5 encounter set to claim.
Oh, it's not too late to start a GBL bet, is what I'm seeing here. Anyway, so
Steve, you're gonna wait on that for this is not till the 22nd of the month, so you're not gonna touch GBL for another 3 weeks.
That's fine.
Yeah, of course.
You're acting
why
like
are you
he has
even
been
asking?
touching GBL for the past 2 weeks. Wait, what? I'm just curious. What kind of content? I haven't tuned into a YouTube video in a second, but what kind of content are you making if you're not making GBL content? You're just like grassroots stuff.
I'm cooking up some like more Wolfie style stuff in the background that I haven't posted anything yet. But
okay. Because I feel like I haven't seen something in a second, but I wasn't sure.
Hey, he cooked up a Little Cup meta simplified
video
that may or may not have been for the right meta.
No, it turns out it was, but we'll get to it.
We'll get to that when it gets to go.
But it also kind of wasn't.
So on top of that too, this is during the event. It starts at rank 6. After the event, starting rank 16, they'll be appearing, which I feel like for most of the listen podcasts, probably like that's not a big deal. Honestly, it shouldn't be hard to get from 6 to 16 anyway.
Yeah, and it says it will appear more frequently in the premium track even after the event too. So that's nice, especially because
make sure you use that premium track forever, for the rest of the season.
Especially because the only other way to get it during this event is going to be in 1-star raids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this isn't going to attract people into PvP, because like in my head, I was like, oh, well, if it's going to be available in Go Battle League rewards from rank 6, part of the idea is to try and like suck in like people that don't usually play, right? So I can grind PvP to get my rewards. If they can just do 1-star raids instead,
yeah, but
generally a PvE player is going to go that way.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so then we have some wild encounters: Magnemite, Dratini, Aeron, Bagon, Beldum, Ferroseed, Noibat, and Rookidee. With the new shiny for Rookidee like a month before Community Day. Dude, I don't know why.
I was reading the online like rage about this. It's so funny that like people are now begging Pokemon Go, Scopely, or maybe Niantic still in charge, I don't know who's in charge right now, to be like, why would you release a shiny now when we have Community Day? I was like, so do you really not want it to be possibly shiny? Like, is this
give us a new vote? New vote.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, it's very obvious that they probably had this event planned when they were going to release the shiny anyway. We just didn't know that before the voting took place.
It's kind of like Superpower Dragonite was supposed to be a Community Day move, and because people didn't vote on it for that Community Day back in the day, they just gave it Superpower anyway. But now you don't have to spend Elite TM for it. It's even better.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite like that in a way. But like it feels like it's such a dumb move in the sense that like when they put out the Community Day vote, obviously the only one Pokemon is going to win. Rookidee was going to win 10 times out of 10, a million times out of a million. And that was like an easy dub. Like, we've listened to the community, we've given you guys the choice. You guys have chosen this. We're giving you something. And now to just like turn that positive into like a hard negative. It's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's funny because now all the votes will have had their shiny released prior to the actual community day.
Exactly.
So they're all on a level playing field that we didn't know about.
It is still a shorter shiny time frame than all the others, for what it's worth. And then the other part of it is, I feel like, someone at Niantic says Scopely is cooking because for me, if I worked there and I had to, I really wanted Rookity Community Day, I too would be like, oh yeah, let's throw in 3 other already released shiny options so I could cook the books a bit, because I know ain't no way majority of people will vote for it, so I can get myself a shiny Rookity, knowing that there's going to be a shiny event anyway.
I just don't know why there was even a vote. Like, just make it be Rookity Community Day at that point. Like,
I know a lot of people would be mad and stuff at the staff working over at Pokemon Go, but I salute you, man. I respect it. I'm happy with it. And
I think absolute audacity. It does
seem like a nice security plan in the off chance that, let's say, a bunch of people just went for the Lechonk or whatever, that you still get a shiny Rookity down the road. But you know what's also funny that I'm thinking about now? What if for these wild encounters, Rookity was never supposed to be shiny, but they're like, it's coming out on Community Day soon. Let's just throw in the shiny too to get people to play more.
No. I think it's the opposite. I think that they had already planned the details of this event and were going to release the shiny. And then they just added it to the Community Day pool because they're like, oh, people like this Pokemon, so they'll still be excited about it, right?
No, I half agree with you, Kaz. I think you're right on that part where they're going to release it anyway. I also think that they already planned the Rookity Community Day because they knew there's no way they were going to be anything else with. They're like, let's just program the Rookity Community Day already because we know it's going to happen.
I just don't understand why they even bothered to make a vote. Like, either make a vote that actually has a chance of multiple things winning, or just pick Rookity for the Community Day and save some trouble.
They messed up the poll anyway because they didn't announce what attack Rookity would evolve with, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that makes it even, to me, that makes it even clearer that they just sort of threw it in when they already knew that they were planning on, like, releasing the shiny here. They were like, you just add that because people just like that Pokemon.
Yeah. They were so confident it's going to win. They didn't even care what move this was.
And
it was still going to win, even if that was the move.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
To answer your question, Tristan, why they would even do that is because it's just the illusion of choice. That's what gets people, right? We all think we all feel good about it because what the majority of people voted on got selected, even though
except they've now thrown that out. Like, that would have been an easy psychological win, but they've just killed it. They've just got
Okay. So the question is, what do you think if we knew then what we know now?
I mean, I'm still voting Rookity myself.
That they all had their shinies, like, were going to be available, and we knew the moves. Like, do you think it would have changed anything?
I think it would have been closer, but Rookity probably still wins. But I could see, like, an edge case for, like, Jellicent or maybe Golisopod.
That's the thing. People get so mad about this stuff online, and I'm like, no, because you would have done it anyway.
Maybe not everyone, but I think majority
people just get mad about things online in general.
Yeah, that's why I think it's funny because people are mad that they're releasing shiny early. Like, I'm not mad about it. Like, if I catch like a rank 1 Great League Rookity and it happens to be shiny in this event, I'm not gonna be like, damn, like, I really wish this shiny would not be here, and it spawned later, Like, I'd rather have the non-shiny rank 1. Like, what? Like, no one's gonna
be mad during the event. No one's gonna be mad on Community Day. People are only mad right now.
Yeah, I guarantee you, everyone that's mad right now about this, if they happen to catch a Shundo Rookity during this event, they will take everything back. Maybe not publicly, but mentally, they'll be like, actually, that wasn't so bad.
Honestly,
you cannot tell me that people will be upset still.
Not even that. If they get like an early shiny in the event, they're going to be posting it, bragging about that they have one of the first shinies.
You just search their past tweets and you'll see them complaining about it like a month prior, and then a month later.
And then they're flexing their shiny.
Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad bit to like just start searching through people's Twitter. Like, every time you see a shiny Rookity, just quick search.
Yeah. All right. So we also have 1-star raids: Unknown U, Gibble, Clink, Dino, and Honedge. And then 3-star raids: Skarmory, Bisharp, Dragalge, and Turtonator.
Yeah, the only thing that can't be shiny out of those lists is Dragalge, Bisharp, and Honedge. The rest can't be shiny.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about
which is a little unfortunate for the Bisharp and Dragalge. I feel like that shouldn't be too hard for them to turn on. It might get people to rate it a little bit more.
Right, because Dragalge even had a shiny during the Wild Area event, I thought, right?
Yeah,
it was shiny like during last year's Go Fest too. Yeah.
Dragalge was?
Who's going to be rating Dragalge?
I mean, no.
Nobody, Steve, but that's not the point.
It just doesn't.
But they could incentivize some people. I don't know.
I mean, Steve, who's going to be rating Gibble and Dino?
No, you all say this?
Dude,
I'd be getting, like, on a weekly basis, I get the weirdest raid invites. It'd be like a Galarian Stumpfist invite people are sending me. Like, people would be rating stuff for
That's because you're in-game friends with Heather.
It's not even Heather. It's not even Heather. This is the crazy part. It's actually, like, a bunch, like, it's a lot of, like,
okay, to be fair, like sometimes like I'll burn my orange pass on like something weird and like send raid invites as a gag to like use up like a win 2 raids or something. So it's like this man was the same guy that said 2 minutes ago who would raid these, and he now is like, actually I probably knew it. I actually do this once in a while too.
Maybe I got some special research I need to
look at my friends list during the raid hours, the open raid hours of Australia, and see how many Dragalge and Bisharp he popped into. I guess be okay too if you need 100% still, right?
I know during Go Fest, all I saw Steve doing was Pikachu's and failings.
Wait, how many shinies did you get out of curiosity? Now that you did a bunch of those,
like out of raids, 0.
General.
Oh, in
raids,
I only used my orange passes. Like I was burning my.
Wait, why would you use on that instead of the crown forms?
Because I just
do you have the energy to evolve them?
Because you can just do those by yourself.
Let's be real. Steve
you're Dynamax, Steve. What you mean? The crown forms are great for Dynamax, no?
So here's the thing. So day one, I'm just going to like this local park just to quickly play an hour. That's all I've got. And so I was like, I'll just like do the like little 1-star, 3-star raids for now. And then tomorrow, like I'll probably go to like the main park and actually do legendary raids. It's like, sounds good. And I picked what I forgot or perhaps didn't have in my brain at all was the fact that Zamazenta was day 1 only and Zacian was day 2 only. And my research line was Zacian, which meant that I was going to be given enough energy on day 2 to crown up my Zacian, and I would just be left with no Zamazenta energy at all. So luckily I did do 2 Zamazenta raids, just like, I hopped on one of the raid servers and sent 2 raids out. But I wasn't going to do that for all 9 of my, or 10 for free passes. So I kind of goofed it a little bit. But, overall shinies, I got like 11, 12, 13. So,
yeah. Okay.
Anyway, with that said, Aegislash, how good is it actually going to be? Because interestingly, this page doesn't mention anything about it changing forms, which is sort of something that's expected to come because that's what it does.
It doesn't mention anything about the forms in general. Like, we don't know, like, is it going to have 2 totally separate forms?
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't mention, like, at all that it even has 2 forms. So if people have not played the games before, like the main series games before, like, they might not even realize the minds that they are stepping into.
Like, we don't know if the forms are going to be 2 totally separate Pokemon, like Giratina or Dialga, or if it's going to be like an in-game battle change, like Morpeko. Like, we have no idea what they're doing with it.
Now, I will say, in the main series games, I don't think it's a specific move, but anytime that you change, I think it was like anytime you change your defense or attack, it would change form. So for me, my theory is that it'll probably be some sort of weird mechanic built into the code so that you can change it, like, with either Candy or Stardust, or like it'll be like Morpeko. Those are the 2 things that I think are the most likely.
Look, my money is definitely on a in-game change, because that just feels like they released Morpeko last year. That was sort of they tried something new for the first time, and Aegislash is like one of the only other Pokemon that has a mechanic that is very similar in that way, especially because it happens in the main games.
Here's how it works. Aegislash, I'm reading this from Bulbapedia. Aegislash has the ability to change forms during battle depending on the moves it uses. It changes from shield form into blade form when using a damaging move, changing back when using King's Shield or when switched out. So it sounds like it starts in shield form. Then if you use a damaging move, you change into the blade form. And then you stay in the blade form until you use the move King's Shield or until you switch it out.
So, two things. One of my patrons actually brought this up in a group chat, and he was like, what if anytime you use a shield in battle, it goes to shield form, and then anytime you use like a charge attack, it goes to sword form?
That's interesting.
Yeah, because we don't really have shields in Pokemon Go, right? So unless they introduce a new move to it, but I feel like if they introduced a new move, they probably would have dropped it in the blog post, right? Like if there's
I mean, they've said nothing about form change, right? So
sure. I'm just saying, assuming if that's the case. I will say too, the graphic on it only shows the shield form.
No,
which,
so
if it's the default one,
me,
then
so I think I saw someone say that like I think maybe the Twitter/X post only showed one form and the blog post only showed the other form or something confusing like that.
Oh, well, the blog shows the shield form. Let's check Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing while you're checking that's interesting is that like a rank 1 for Aegislash shield is a XL level 47. It's got almost the identical stats of a Bastion, which is absolutely insane.
Oh my god!
You all thought Bastion was annoying, dude. This thing is Bastion with like coverage and charge attack. You know, and fast energy generating theory.
Also, no double weakness and like way better typing. Ghost Steel is really good typing.
Yes. Oh my god! Yeah.
This is like,
Tristan's right. Like the Pokemon Go Twitter has the sword form in the graphic. So
maybe we get my gosh!
Right, so this gets to my second part of the point. Aegislash Blade, the sword form, the rank 1 is a level 21.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is if you have to build just one and it could change forms throughout the battle. All right, I'll use Morpeko as an example, right? Let's say if that's, if it operates something like a Morpeko, right? Wouldn't you, if you could build the electric Morpeko or the dark Morpeko, right, or wheel one, you would the hangry or the non-hangry form, you would always build the non-hangry form one if it's cheaper versus the XL one, right? So what's the incentive to even gather XLs for this when you could just
here's the thing though, right? Here's the thing.
Shield and battle something that changes, right?
Well, here's the thing, Caleb. I think that if you can pick what form you're going to make, that means they would be two separate forms, most likely.
Yeah.
Right? Like, think how, like, Palkia and Dialga have separate forms, right?
Yeah, so you're saying there wouldn't be a form change.
There wouldn't be. Because the thing is, Morpeko has a default form. Aegislash in the main series games, my understanding is always starts in shield form.
Oh.
So it would have a base form.
Yeah. That is the base.
Now here's the problem with Aegislash. Here's the problem with Aegislash though. Say it does have an in-game change form, right? And it starts as the shield. You have a rank 1 shield, like you said, it's level 47. If you plug in a level 47 blade form with the same IVs as the rank 1, the CP for that is 2698.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to handle that if there is an in-game form change. Because like the CP is just so out of scale. Like you'd be having something that's bigger than Ultra League CP in the Great League.
Well, you really better do your premium track battles.
So like I have no idea what they're going to do with this because like I don't know how you make this balanced. Like the one theory that I saw someone talk about was like maybe Tristan, like average the stats or something, and then maybe the form change is like, you know how we have like attack and defense boosts. Maybe when you go to like the blade form, you get like +4 attack boost and like -4 defense boost or something. And then when you flip back,
Gengar. What the heck?
So like I don't know. I just don't know how they're going to handle the form change because
honestly, I don't think they know either, Tristan, because that's why they're teasing everybody with it. They're not going to know until they literally just put it in the game and just wash their hands.
Well, they put it in the game on July 22nd, so hopefully they figure out what they're doing in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. And that is the other very large thing about this, is that it releases on July 22nd, which if it were eligible for Worlds like 3 weeks later, which it would be by, general weak legality scenarios, this might be like, some brand new Pokemon that everyone has to deal with. Maybe it's like a nothing burger, sort of more Peko-ish, but
that's being hopeful. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be 2600 CP type shenanigans,
if it's
then
the shield that procs the shield form, I'm saving all the shields for the Aegislash.
Yeah, so it's very,
Dude, this attack is crazy. I'm trying to find something similar to it. The only thing I found that's higher than it is attack Deoxys. Everything else is lower.
Yeah. I did do this little deep dive recently, actually. I want to say that maybe I can try and re-find whatever I found.
Like, it's higher than a Gengar attack.
Which attack do you mean?
The Aegislash attack. Wait,
like
what do you
Blade's
mean?
attack stat.
Blade's attack stat. It's super high. It's like it's like almost 180. In comparison, like a Gengar is like 154. Maybe max attack Gengar 1500 is still under the attack of Aegislash, of like a rank 1 Aegislash Blade. What the heck?
Kartana is above. Sharpedo is lower.
Kartana, Sharpedo, Rampardos
are all lower.
Are all lower?
Wait. Yeah. Okay. Max attack Kartana is almost, not quite, almost as high as an Aegislash Blade rank 1. This is nuts. Actually wild, dude. I mean, I don't know. That's like, imagine if you're playing against a Bastion and then like all of a sudden it's like it goes from super bulky to suddenly as frail as a Kartana. Like,
oh my God.
You best hope if you're trying to catch a move on the Bastion, it's not in Kartana form.
This is why they weren't worried at all about Rookidee.
One shot from a freaking Dragon Claw.
They're too busy figuring this out.
Yeah, dude, Rookidee, 3 sand attacks and this thing's done for. Look, all I'm saying is it's going to be an interesting world.
So yeah, it's just really hard to analyze, right? Like you can run the sims on like what the like shield form can do, and like it obviously has pretty high win rates, so like it has good bulk, right, and really good typing. So like if they're separate forms, then like the shield form does look very potent for Great League. Mm-hmm. If there's a form change, we just have no idea because we just really don't know how that might function in a way that they keep it balanced when it switches to the attack form. And like we just don't really know.
All right, I got a trivia question for you all. Take a guess. Nothing on the line here. I'm just curious what you all think. All right, Aegislash Blade, a rank 1, versus a rank 1 Shadow Marowak. How many mud slaps can it take before it gets fainted out?
3.
3?
2.
2. I'm gonna guess the same number if you all want. 4?
Let's go 4.
Yeah, Steve's right. It is 4.
No.
Yeah. Surprisingly, it also could take 4 from Gastrodon. So I think that's kind of like the limit there.
It's got like 100-ish health, right?
Aegislash? 104 for the rank 1.
Okay, but how many sucker punches can it take from a Shadow Mightyena?
Let me see. That's a good question. All right, let's do a rank 1 just to not to go anything too crazy on the. Okay, I take a guess on this one. Yeah. Did you already look it up? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't look it up. I'm gonna guess like 5.
Kaz?
I'll say 7.
It is 5. Yeah.
Let's go.
It's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Honestly, this is like, it's so weird. It's like one of the most busted Pokemon and one of the weakest Pokemon at the same time. Like, talk about like the duality here, right? Like if it could actually change forms while mid battle, that's actually wild.
It's going to be insane.
It would be interesting because, like with Morpeko, there's times where the form change is helpful, but there's times where the form change actually hurts you.
For sure.
Because you end up having to, like, throw a, resisted charge move at something when you could be throwing a super effective, right? If you're against, like, an Azu or a Mandibuzz or something, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like, will the form change, like, make it better or worse or some combination? If there is one, like, I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's strategy considerations where, like, if you throw it, like, if they're in sword form and they're about to get to their move, you throw a move, any move you possibly can, because either you're going to KO them, like, on the spot, or they're going to have to shield, and then they go to shield form, and then they lose all of that attack stat. So, like, it will be interesting. My honest thought, I feel like they're going to ban it for Worlds. I think it's going to be too close and too crazy that they're just going to ban it, especially when it's not like, and not like it's inaccessible, but when it's not the most accessible.
I mean,
I don't think accessibility is an issue here, though. I think, like, because that's the thing, right? Like, it's you could farm multiple of these just in like a day.
I don't think it's the main issue. I just think that it's a little too close and too crazy.
I mean, I think if it did get banned, it would be because think about it. Morpeko got banned initially because there was a lot of bugs and issues with its form changes.
Yes.
So I think there's a non-zero chance that if there's a form change, which again, it could be two separate forms. We really don't know. Again, I think if there are two separate forms, I think it would probably just be allowed for Worlds. But if it is a form change, knowing Niantic, unfortunately, there's a non-zero chance that something gets bugged and causes issues. In which case it probably gets banned for Worlds.
Yeah, I think that is infinitely more likely is that, like, it will, if it's a form change during battle, there are going to be bugs. We all know that. We've all accepted that, and they have to ban it, right? But, like, if it's not, I don't think accessibility is the issue. Oh, come on, Joshua.
I think it'll be clean release, but they will just be reasonable heads and decide to ban it from Worlds because, I mean...
Steve just doesn't want to have to prepare for this for Worlds.
No, I don't.
That's the real truth right there.
Although, if I want to use it, then maybe... But no, I would much prefer a slightly more stable, like, practice run into Worlds rather than, like, everyone spending this 3 weeks. Like, I don't want it to be such a crapshoot going to Worlds, really.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to run it, right? You could just run like 4 mud slappers and call it a day.
4 mud slappers?
4 mud slappers, 2 fire types. What could beat that, right? Ain't no one running Altaria. Like,
ain't no one running water types.
Luckily, water's a bad
Typhlosion beats water types, no? Sounds like it beat a Azumarill. Yeah, I my personal guess is that it probably doesn't get banned because, well, one, I feel like if it was going to get banned, we probably would have seen an announcement by now. I don't know. It's only a couple hours after the announcement.
Found out the Pokemon's here.
well, that's us, but I wonder if TPCI probably has a heads up, right? There's no way they don't know.
Yeah.
That's just my guess. And two, kind of like what Kaz is saying, it's not an accessibility issue, and any of the past bans have always been accessibility issues, or if something was bugged, right? Like Morpeko was bugged, right? So it was banned. But
how inaccessible was Carbink? Like, obviously, it was very accessible at the in-person Go Fest, but then it was released after, right?
Yes, but that one's different because not everyone could go to the in-person Go Fest, right?
Yeah.
This is like a global anyone can access. And then
wasn't it accessible after?
It was only from like you could only get one from a pass or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until later. Now it's just like everywhere, but yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, if it does get banned, I wouldn't be surprised. I think the only way it gets banned is when on release it's super buggy or something like that, you know. That would be the only probably the only situation. But we won't know until like a few weeks from now,
how would you feel if it was 2 separate forms with no in-game form change and it was allowed for Worlds?
I think better.
I think that would make more sense for it to be allowed for Worlds, personally. Yeah. And, like, I think there would... it depends.
Just for PvP purposes in general, too. You know how chaotic that is?
Well...
Just think about, like, Morpeko. Right? Let's say if it went from its form now, and every time it went hangry form or the other form, it became a 4 times boosted to Dene. Like, it's pretty stark of a difference, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But we again don't know what we don't know.
I don't know what we don't know. But okay. So I guess okay, Steve and Tristan are competing at Worlds. Let's say if there's some way it does change form, right? Whether you use a shield change form or whatever, some type of way it changes form during the battle rather than just sticks to one form the entire time. Because I think if it sticks to one form the entire time, everyone's running shield form. They're not running the blade form, right?
Yeah, of course.
So if that's the case, would you personally, right, prefer to see it being allowed at Worlds or not?
I think I've made my opinion pretty clear. I would definitely prefer I'd prefer a ban personally.
Nah, man.
But that's just because I don't.
You just gotta ring up your buddy Eo Mero and Ash, and then they got a team for you right then and there.
Yeah, but that's
the more prep than anyone.
That's the thing, though, is if you had a Pokemon like that with that sort of a stark form change, it's not just about the team, right? It's about the execution and how you optimize it. And I do feel like with like a 3-week turnaround, or is it 3 or 4 weeks from release to Worlds?
Like 3 weeks.
There's not a lot of time to like play both with and against the Pokemon and like figure out like optimal gameplay and like how to maximize it if you're using it and how to minimize it if you're against it.
Yeah. My hard take is that if Aegislash releases in this way that it's like form change shenanigans and it's sort of a brand new strategy that we've never played before, and it's this like, you know, the highest attack stat we've apparently ever seen actually grace the battlefield or whatnot.
And also one of the bulkiest Pokemon.
And also one of the bulkiest at the same time. Then I think we're at risk of not letting the best player in the world become the world champion. I would rather see a little more stability personally.
Here's a counterpoint. I'm not saying that I wouldn't ban it, right? Tristan, you're saying you would probably ban it as well if it.
I have mixed feelings because I do think like some of that like chaos and like who can be like get a good read and adapt is a valid skill to test, but I probably would lean more towards banning it and just going with a little bit more of the consistency and like see who can get a best grasp on the current meta and game mechanics as is. And then, you know, if that's the case, then, you know, you can unban it post Worlds and see who can cook with it in September.
Okay, so I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, so my point here too. Obviously, I'm not playing at Worlds, so I have a little bit less at stake here. But I know Steve's saying, the best player wouldn't win Worlds. What defines the best player, though, right? Because isn't it like, if this is, let's say if they release this, right? It's not going to be just for Worlds. It's going to be forever, right? Unless they revamp it and completely undo the mechanics or whatever. This Aegislash is going to be in the game forever. So wouldn't the best player wouldn't the player that wins Worlds is deemed in a way the best player because they were able to adapt to this new part of the game?
I mean, it depends what you value. I think it depends.
Yeah,
what
maybe
you
not
value.
the best player currently, right? But like if Elam and Martigal they can't adjust to this, are they really the best player?
It's not just a new Pokemon though, right? If it was just a new Pokemon, then
it's the mechanics,
then I think you can make that argument. It's the mechanics thing that it's like a
But what I'm saying is that mechanics will be part of the game forever, right? Especially with something like this. I mean, Morpeko technically, if it's something like Morpeko, then it's already been a part of the mechanics, but
if you're taking like
nearly as
the
volatile as
2025 world champion, for that to be on like, you know, some brand new system, I don't know. I don't like it.
So Steve saying that if this doesn't get banned and it does cause wonky stuff as we predict, then he's not recognizing the 2025 world champion. Watch him win it, and then he's like,
hashtag not my champion. Hashtag not my champion.
Watch Ashton Ash win it.
yeah. Then what are you gonna say? Watch Marco Galde or Elam win it. Then what are you gonna say?
No. No, I'm going to build on what Tristan is saying. Watch Ashton Ash like build a team. Steve also uses that team. Ashton Ash wins with that team. And Steve is like, hashtag not my champion.
He's my goat. He's always been my world champion.
You know what? You know the real reason Steve wants it banned? He's afraid of Axon with an Aegislash.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's the unstoppable duo.
Yeah.
Well, like he wasn't broken enough going into this
meta shaming going to be loving this update. Okay, one last final quiz question, right? No one looked this up. Now that Dusclops probably one of the most like prominent ghost types in this meta as of now. Well, maybe once Aegislash out, this is a different story. But it does have a ghost fast attack, whereas Aegislash theoretically potentially doesn't, but we'll see on release.
It could get Shadow Claw.
That'd be crazy.
It also could get Sacred Sword.
Let's assume it's just running Fury Cutter, right? Shadow Dusclops into an Aegislash blade. Rank 1 Shadow Dusclops, which most people probably won't even have, but let's just say hypothetically.
Shadow Dusclops.
How many hexes can it survive?
Oh my god.
You know what? I think it's going to be like 10.
5.
Oh, that's a bit low.
It's going to be 5. I think Mudslap from Shadow Kanto Marowak was 4, so Hex is going to be 5 from a Shadow Dusclops.
I'm going to say 7.
All right. Well, Kaz got it right. It is 7. You should be right. Pretty good.
That is crazy, though.
Yeah.
Well, because like the train of thought is like it's a Dusclops. Like the normal Dusclops doesn't have like the highest attack compared to most ghosts. The Shadow is obviously going to be a little bit stronger, but I still thought 10 was pushing it, Steve.
Yeah, I brought on an Aegislash shield cat right here, the thick one, just like the Bastiodon.
All right, and on that trivia topic, let's go to Kaz's corner.
That's right.
Wait, don't we have something else? Oh no, wait. There's no information for that. It's just
it's just
Stay tuned for more dates. And
there's gonna be a Go Fest finale in August. They announced the dates. It's the weekend after Worlds, Saturday and Sunday. We don't have any other details, but like, just if you're wanting to play that event, just book that in your calendar. That's all we really know right now.
It's Eternatus.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this going to be an Aegislash question?
No, actually,
you probably planned it prior, yeah.
I had planned it prior to today. So, no, today we are talking about the currently the actual bane of my existence, but still love of my heart, Quaxley.
Okay.
Quaxley is not actually from the Paldea region. And as it evolves into Quackavall, what skill does it take from, like, what skill does it bring from its past in another region and utilize?
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait.
Easy.
You better get this right.
I hope so.
Because the confidence you came in there, that's like asking what Steve's middle name is. Like that's how fast he responded. Wait, so say the question one more time. Yeah.
Okay, so Quaxley is not actually from the Paldea region originally. It had migrated from another region.
Oh, can I ask one clarifying question?
Yeah.
Wait.
Do you want to wait until I finish the actual question?
Well, it's related to this specific part. I don't think you answer it. Yeah. So if you do, my apologies. Fue Coco and Sprigatito, are they originally from Paldea region?
As far as we know, yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So Quaxley actually migrated from another region. As it evolves into Quackavall, what skill does it utilize that comes from that previous history?
And Quackavall is the final evolution.
The final evolution.
The big guy.
What skill? Big. And okay.
I mean, I'm just like, it's just gotta be, right?
I'm thinking the same thing, but I'm kind of like scared because
it is sort of weird because it's like,
is it?
It's not really based on, like, you think of the typing and it kind of makes you think one thing, but that's not actually what the Pokemon is known for.
All right. Well, look, I've got my answer, I guess. I hope it doesn't have to be specific. Maybe. I mean, does it have to be specific?
It's not really that specific.
Okay, then we're fine.
Okay. Do you need the whole question or kind of like
just
the end of it?
Just the end of it. I get the moving
skill.
region.
Yeah, what skill does Quackval demonstrate that originated in another region? I think you're thinking it too hard, Tristan.
I mean, I didn't think about it at all.
I know, and I think that's kind of the energy that this question needs, honestly.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
Okay.
Does everybody have something?
Yeah,
ready?
I have a strange suspicion that I'm wrong though, but
really?
And if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Steve's wrong too. But
probably, yeah, I imagine we're on the same page.
But like, part of me will be so regretful if I just didn't go with this and be like, dude, like it's too obvious. Why would I not just do it? But again, I'm just like, I feel like this is an SAT question where like what you think is not what it is.
All right. 3, 2, 1, send.
What?
Okay. Okay.
Wait,
so,
what? Wait.
What is your answer, Caleb?
Oh yeah, me and Caleb are not on the same page.
I just meant like it's like if it like okay, so well you can so they both said dancing, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm completely off. Yeah, I know. I just
well, I'll tell you right now. You're completely wrong.
Birds migrate by flying to a different area.
But it's not a skill.
It's not a skill.
Flying
Caleb.
is a skill. What you mean? It's just a skill humans don't possess. Like if I could fly and you can't, then you're like, damn, Caleb got a different skill than us.
But it got a skill of flying from another region because flying isn't a skill from the region it's in now. What?
No, it's
I
like
misunderstood.
Yep.
Well, I wasn't going to get it right either way because my other guess was going to be I was going to like swim down the river, like swim over and stuff, right? Because like a duck. But then you said it's nothing to do with this typing, so I was just like, well, it can't be water based.
Yeah,
but also the actual typing for Quackval is water fighting. So like you might think that it's like it uses its like fighting skills, right? But it's actually known as the dancing Pokemon.
Yeah, you're
right.
Dancer, not a fighter. That Quackle was always dancing around and stuff. Wait, I think I misunderstood the question then because I thought you were asking how does it like get from another region to the Paldea region.
No. I know. What skill it
Wait, learned. Do we know what region it came from, or just
it does not say?
Does it say how it got to the Paldea region? Did it fly over? Because
that wasn't even the question.
No, I know. The moment I saw YouTube put dancing, I legitimately was like, "What in the world? Like, how did you dance from one region to another?" Like, I'm just imagining this Quackle dancing across like a whole region. Like,
just doing
that can't be efficient at all. Like, you just swim or fly or sit in a car, even. Like,
you were focused on the migrating part.
I was so focused on the migrating because I'm just sitting here thinking like, "Oh, it's not from Paldea." But Fuecoco and Sprigatito can't fly. This guy must have just flew across to another region.
Caleb should have paid attention when I asked for the question to be repeated like 3 times.
Yeah, twice I repeated the question.
I think that I was like half listening and half trying to think of the answer. So, and I was like another half like confused how Steve got so quickly. But then but then now I was like, wait, it's gotta be flying, right? Yeah.
Locked in.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
When was the last time we had a Kaz's Corner? It's been a while.
It's been a really long time.
This total scores now me and Josh 9, Tristan at 11, and deservedly so. I should not have gotten a point there because I just didn't even listen to the question.
I'm in joint last now.
Hey,
let's go,
Steve. You're in joint second.
Well, I'm enjoying second too.
Yeah, Josh is like, whoa, don't give me too much credit.
Hey, now, I mean, I'm the first. I'm the one that's got a pointer.
Usually get place, right? At these tournaments.
There is,
a second place guys, just hanging out.
There are actually several species of this kind of. It's not really the same as a duck. Right, but it is an aquatic bird species called a grebe, and most of those species are like they look kind of similar to ducks, except they have very like pointy bills because they like stab fish to eat. But most of them are known to have very like elaborate dancing rituals for mating season. So that's probably kind of, even though Quackval obviously is like a duck and it looks kind of like peacocky. Obviously, like that's where I think the inspiration came from is like watching some of those elaborate dances where they literally like you'll see videos of like ducks just running across the water, like with each other side by side, just like.
And if you're listening to the audio, you have to catch the video version for
yes, please,
duck impersonation.
Please, I am very proud of my.
Can you do that again?
Moves. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Right, check the timestamp, guys.
It's my favorite thing to do is immigrate bird mating rituals.
All right. Let's go straight into championship series because I think Steve does have to head out soon.
Wait, we gotta hear
what championship series?
We have to hear Steve's video story though with the meta.
Okay, let's hear that first. Yeah.
So you know, I make Meta Simplify videos off of whatever is on the blog, and the blog says that next up is going to be Little Element Cup, and I'm like, great, I can make a Little Element Cup thing. PV Poke's already got the rankings up. You know, I do it live on stream. And, you know, we made it. Happy days. I post a video. And it's performing really bad. And I'm like, this is weird. They don't usually perform this bad, especially when it's like, you know, 2 days before the meta starts.
It's Little Cup. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's done fine in the past, even when you're competing with Great League. So I was like, this is odd. And then someone leaves a comment that's like, what is, like, you know, what's wrong with you? It's Little Cup Remix, bro. And I was like, huh? What are you talking about? And he was like, it literally says, the schedule says that it's Little Cup Element Remix. And I'm like, I have a screenshot of the blog in the video. It clearly said, like, I checked it a million times. I don't know what to tell you. And then I checked the in-game schedule and it's like, oh, in-game, it actually says that it's going to be Element Cup Remix in Little Cup. And I was like, oh, heck. I've just been absolutely bamboozled again. They've, you know, gone and like the in-game is probably correct because they've coded it in. Like it even shows a little preview like, oh, this Element Remix starting in like, you know, 2 days or whatever. I'm like, waste of a video, waste of time. I'm never making a meta video again. Heck, these guys, they've absolutely do not care about PvP.
Steve,
grumble,
this
grumble,
happens
grumble.
like every time you make a Little Cup video in particular.
Oh,
I think the last time you did it, they banned like Smeargle or Shuckle or something.
Despite never announcing it and never acknowledging it and even having it like the bans listed in a later Twitter post that didn't mention them. I am very unhappy with the communication from Niantic Scopely when it comes to Go Battle League, unfortunately. Cup. And it's very much a case where like
Little Cup.
I was really considering like never making a meta video again because I'm like, what's the point? If they're just going to keep screwing around, I don't know if we bother spending the time. But in the end, they released and it was not remix. So the meta video is correct apparently, but I don't know.
Have the views
so Scopely owes you a couple of views, huh?
Yeah. I mean, like the views are starting to go back up, but like you know how the YouTube algorithm goes. When it tanks at the start, it tanks forever. It's
you
never
just have to
really
repost it.
Yeah, delete it, repost. But well, it is what it is. Alas.
Yep. Well, that's that. I was gonna ask where you're running in Go Battle League, but this man's not even playing.
I'm waiting now till July 22nd.
What are you guys? What are you even at right now? I had like I peaked at around 2660 something with a Bastion team, but then I dropped a bit after dropping the Bastion.
I'm in the like 22 or 2300s, I think. I've been it's not the best team, but I've been having fun with Shadow Scizor.
Oh, me too.
Blastoise and Greninja. I took a book out of the Z's Wireless Pataman, or a page out of their book with the Scizor Greninja core, and then slapped in a Blastoise for the third.
There's a lot of fighters running around, though, no?
Yeah, fighters are annoying, but Scizor's not that bad into them.
Yeah.
Honestly, the most annoying thing is like Eufisk leads. I'm like, the hell do I do against that?
Oh, I mean, you have some play. I was running a Mandibuzz Bastion to Dene team. Imagine Euphis into that. Oh, and this was Air Slash Mandibuzz on top of it.
Oh my god.
Somehow my patron Bubelli was able to beat a Euphis team, Euphis lead with that. I don't know how. I mean, he detailed it, but still.
Sorcery.
Yeah, I actually almost did. I kept it kind of close against the one I saw in the lead, but it's
crazy.
It's pretty uncomfortable.
But yeah, it's definitely, there's some comps that are rough for me, but like I'm just playing it because it's fun. Mm-hmm. And like I have fun messing around with those Pokemon, and like it's really streaky because like I've gotten like some like obviously like my ELO is not the highest, but like I've gotten several like 4-0s and or 4-1s and 5-0s, but I've also gotten several like 0-5s and 1-4s because like sometimes it just depends on the matchups. But some people just disrespect Greninja. Like, I played someone that had, like, what was it? They had, like, a Dusknoir lead with, like, Clodsire and Typhlosion in the back.
Well,
it's like...
it is a Greninja for what it's worth. It's pretty rare. I mean, the typing's pretty unique, right? So
I mean, there's a lot of people out there disrespecting water types in general, I think. But I'm about where you are, Tristan. So maybe soon.
Queue up at the same time.
I think I play most of my battles when you're fast asleep, though.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Kaz gonna stay up tonight though and queue up with some Unova Stumpfisk.
Absolutely, I will.
I'll catch either Tristan or Caleb.
But I have been having fun with Golisopod, Credillion, Dusclops. So pretty just ABC.
Yeah.
Fury Cutter, I assume? Or Shadow Claw?
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, Fury Cutter would probably need it for the random, like, Galarian Moltres and Mandibuzz you see. But, I messed around a little bit with Mandibuzz, Credilli, Shadow Scizor recently. Dude, I played 25 battles with this team. I didn't get a single boost the entire day. What are the odds of that? Did you get any? Okay, I know you're running the Greninja too. How many boosts did you get on Shadow Scizor in a day's set, Tristan, out of curiosity?
I don't remember.
But you got than 0, right?
Yeah, probably a couple. I feel like I probably boosted more with Greninja, though, obviously, because they're getting to those faster. But
yeah, I guess there are a decent amount of times I'll throw in Trailblaze too, because with the way my team set up, like it's kind of my pseudo grass ABB grass, right? So
my favorite though is if I lead into Jellicent, I just go Trailblaze. They always try to play for a shield advantage, but once you land the Trailblaze, you just shield once and bullet punch down. And then you've taken out their Jellicent and you come out with a boosted Scizor.
You throw Trailblaze and you...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't know.
And they usually... they usually no shield. Obviously, if they shield, it's more awkward for you, but most of them tend to no shield because they're like, oh, I can live it.
Yeah, but and they're thinking like it might be even Night Slash, right? They don't want to shield one.
But yeah, so they no shield, and then you just shield. It's usually like a surf, but then after that, you bullet punch them down, and they don't get to another move. And so you're down a shield, but you come out with a boosted Scizor.
Yeah,
and that's usually pretty nice.
The what do you call it? The Diggersby matchup in the back is pretty rough for a Scizor. Because they'll just come to Diggersby, I'll have no shields, and I have a Scizor left. I'm like, this is not good. Even with shields, it's awkward because they pace so fast.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I did not realize that Night Slash and Trailblaze were the same energy efficiency, actually, on Scizor. So, good to know. Because I was like, because I played against that Jellicent with this just Scizor, and I threw the Night Slash. I didn't throw the Trailblaze, but I think that's the better play. But, it is what it is. Okay, well, best of luck on your... Hone Edge claiming at range 19. Steve.
Yeah, we're all going to need all the luck we can get.
We'll assume that you don't have a GBL update for a while outside of your videos. All right.
Yeah, I'll be using the premium track.
Yeah.
All right, Championship Series?
Yes, so a few updates. You want to break it down, Tristan?
Yeah, so the first one is that Go-Go and Skidoo have been removed from the ban list, so they are now legal. And they're immediately legal because that's what the rules say. They say if something comes off the ban list, it's eligible right away. So nothing too crazy. I don't think they're the strongest Pokemon, but you can use them now if you want. I'm waiting for that Steve YouTube video for first Go-Go at a local.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my first local isn't for a few weeks. So,
but you might still be the first video. You never know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I tell you what.
Unless
Steve,
I can put an end to that.
I tell you what, Steve. I've got some locals the second week, or in a couple weeks, and I'll just send you. I'll have them send you the footage.
We gotta use the Go-Go ASAP before this Aegislash comes out. Like you either can't do any damage to Shield Form, or you get taken out by 2 Fury Cutters on the blade. Either way, it's gonna be a bad time.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then the bigger announcement. I'm trying to find the actual wording, but they announced there's going to be wired internet at Worlds for Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty big,
which is pretty big because that hopefully means that it'll be a stronger internet connection, hopefully less lag and other technical issues. They did say, I don't know if anyone can find it faster than me, but they mentioned that if you're someone that battles with headphones, that you need to bring your own headphones, and it needs to be a specific type.
USB-A, which is like your classic, like, like literal USB stick type beat, which is like no one really owns headphones that have that, so you have to buy a pair if you want to use sound, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so general PSA, because I know that there's some people that do like to battle with the game sounds. So if you are wanting that for Worlds, you need to make sure you have headphones that will work, given the specifications they said with that USB-A. So just general PSA for that, but that is a very exciting change that will hopefully mean that things run smoother. So big fingers crossed for that.
Do either of you play with sound?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I will always remember where I think it was just like a Pokemon Go update or something that messed up sound for the 2020 Worlds for Sylph Arena. It was the first one where we had the world champ. Yeah, it was the second Sylph Arena Worlds. 2020. And round number 1, I'm in a group chat with Speedy's Chief and some other people from Florida, and he loses round 1, and he's really pissed because he's like, dude, like, I can't hear game sounds. I play with game sounds, and he can't use that as a cue to count and, when Pokemon come in and all this stuff, right? And because like the game wasn't like working very well or something like that at the time, like the game sounds just were like PvP game sounds weren't working or something like that. I don't remember exactly how it went. And he went on to drop the first game and go like 7-1, like 7-0 after, and then ends up winning Worlds that year.
Who is this again?
Speedy's Chief.
Oh, right. I remember.
I was like, clearly it didn't matter that much. Clearly, because he lost the round 1. I was like, dang, that sucks, right? And I won my first round. I won like the next 2 too. I was like, man, it's real tough for Speedy. And then it started getting tough for me. I was like, wait, I can't win anything. And I look at his record. I was like, dude, this guy hasn't dropped a game. Like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I adapted. I was like, yeah.
Guess so.
The very first Perth regionals that was streamed, we didn't competitors that were on stream couldn't listen to game sound, which has been fixed since because I just bought something else. But back then you couldn't. And Rick Flareon is a famed audio listener, and so he was like, "Oh, can you guys like not put me on stream?" And I was like, I'll let the organizers know that you prefer not to. And then I think his first match was on stream, and almost all of his matches the entire tournament were on stream.
Yeah,
he still
won probably thought you tried to set him up. He's like, Steve, can you help me out? He's like, oh, don't worry, I got you.
You put him on hard mode.
Yeah. But then trying to go for that travel award. I think again.
Well, I mean, first of all, the travel award weren't announced, and then he still got the World's Travel Award. He got the LASE Travel Award that we didn't know existed. He got so much money off that tournament that he just didn't have sound for.
It's because your plan backfired, Steve.
Dang, I really tried to sabotage that
guy. Yeah, Steve's not that kind of person.
Nah,
he'd rather fly to South Africa than have Rick fail in a regional in his home country. Okay, well, that is solid news too. I know most people probably don't even have USB-A stuff, but I heard that's not that hard to find or not that expensive, especially online. At least in Amazon, North America, right? But I know in some places it's harder. But I don't know. Part of me would not be fully surprised if they have some extras, but I wouldn't bank on that, right?
Definitely prepare for yourself.
Yeah, bring your own. I mean, I guess theoretically they shouldn't have extras. They're not going to bring extra notebooks or people that use notebooks, so why would they bring extra headphones, right?
Yeah, you're kind of on your own. So if that's something that's important to you, make sure you have that taken care of and sorted out.
Or while you're playing and you don't have it, but you're a sound player, think about Speedy's Chief too. Think about Flareon. Think about how they rose to glory while being handicapped without the sound. Maybe this is your chance to shine too.
Could be.
But anyway, so there's that. And then you already said Go-Go and Skiddo are legal now. So quick question, right? Because I know a lot of people are probably holding their breath on if Aegislash will be legal or not at Worlds. Do you all happen to recall? I know there's not like a exact science to this, right? Because it's not like a automated process. It takes like staff members to look at this. But do you all know how long it usually takes for something to get banned if they were to ban anything? Morpeko is a exception because it was bugged, right? But like let's say hypothetically, if Aegislash, however it works, is not bugged on release. So just in general, right now, like how long would people?
I mean, it seems very variable. The thing you have to keep in mind is that there's the 2-week eligibility rule, anyways.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it could get banned right at the end of that 2-week eligibility.
Oh, you're saying 2 weeks and then it's going to get banned on like later?
Potentially, like it could get banned sooner, but like it could get banned at that point as well.
Yeah.
Also, I guess quickly on the Play Pokemon note, it's now July, so there's now cups and challenges that are awarding CP for the 2026 season. So you can start competing in locals to get those points to try to qualify for Worlds in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. Get on that, because I know some people unfortunately just did not have any local points or had much local points in general. So
yeah, there was a travel award and a stipend that changed hands entirely because of local points. So there's a lot of money on the line if you don't.
Wait, which one?
I think Paul Usher gained a travel award based on locals, and I don't remember who the stipend was.
Yeah.
But I mean to say gained.
Wasn't there someone? Wasn't it someone in Australia? Wasn't it Oceania?
Oh, actually, no, you're right. It was Fortois. Yeah, actually, maybe you're right. Maybe Paul Usher got the stipend. Yeah, I think it is that way. I think Australia had a travel award change.
He's not even concerned about Australia anymore now that he has the LASC travel award locked in. He's like, I ain't worried about these peasants below me. Like, they're on their own. I got my bag and I locked in. Yeah.
Why would I worry about Oceania?
Honestly,
I'm not even from there.
For what it's worth, too, given how much money you spent going to South Africa twice, like, I think it's pretty fair that you got it. Maybe some people don't think it's fair, but like it's not like Steve necessarily earned money, right? Because you didn't get any prize money from the South Africa regionals either, So
he's just recouping some loss.
This is my cash prize for second and third.
If he spends more money to go to LAX.
Well, and also you also think about the fact that there's like at least a 75% chance he gets his phone stolen again at LAIC. So you're really feeling bad for this guy. So this early money cushion is helpful.
All right, Steve. This is what you do. You go buy like some crappy like burner flip phone and you use that. So if they jack that, you have your real phone in your pocket.
Yeah,
I've had people tell you to like get
tape a Google Maps like map on it as a.
Tristan, you're assuming he's not just gonna be having it out, like playing it anyway. Like he's gonna buy that fake phone and then forget that he's supposed to be holding the fake phone.
Or here's a crazy idea: you could just take an Uber to the venue.
Yeah.
I don't know
if this travel award covers a $3 Uber, man. I think I better just walk.
Dude, I'll put it this way: the Ubers are so cheap there. I called pretty much all the Ubers for me and my 3 locals that we're all in the same hotel, and I just told them, I was like, look, it's honestly not even worth doing the split Uber thing because it costs like $1 to do that when the Uber's already like only $3. Like we're gonna spend like almost as much just doing the split function. So I just told them, I was like, look, I'll just tell you how much you owe me after the event. And I just literally looked at my receipt. I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna bother. Like, I'm just going to DM some guy, be like, you owe me $2.50. Like, come on. Like, it's like I can eat that cost. Like, it's that cheap, So it just don't do that. Also, I remember my local Andy, who's also my roommate for that event. He was like, hey guys, like we're going to like some dinner, which was like maybe about like a 15-minute walk. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna call Uber. He's like, oh no, it's just a 15-minute walk. Let's just drop our daily incense to do that. I'm like, what? Like right after we heard that Steve got his phone stolen, and you're going to do that at 7 p.m. at night when he got his phone stolen at 9 a.m. Like, good luck. Like, you go try to get that Galarian Vulture. So I'm taking the Uber. Like,
yeah, no, you can call me a silly Billy as much as you want, which is fair. But doing it after my phone was already stolen is so much sillier. There's levels to this thing.
Yeah, Steve's like, I can't be the worst on the totem pole. There's got to be people below me.
The chances of catching a Galarian bird are so much lower than the chances of having your phone stolen. Yeah. Like, it's an astronomical difference.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the YouTube comments because we're running pretty long time. We have a lot of YouTube comments too. So
I probably got to do this.
Should we end recording, let Steve leave, and then the 3 of us can cover YouTube?
All right.
I'll head, but I'll catch you next time, YouTube. Bye.
All right. We got some YouTube comments from our last episode that we'll cover to close it out. We got Alessio Pucci says, Josh, your Hundo Palkia can play with my Hundo Dialga without Roar of Time. That's also really unfortunate because I assume they can't even use the adventure effect, which is
yeah, you can't. But like the thing is,
you can use it with any.
Yeah, you can use it with any. So if you just have one in your storage,
I always use the one I powered up, even though I don't think it actually matters.
It doesn't matter. I will say though, I did see a lot of clips on like X of people posting videos of them running Fire Blast on their Palkia Origin and just fire blasting all the Zacians and Zamzentas. So there is actually some niche use for that for ones without the move now.
That is true. I got hit by a Fire Blast from a Skeletor the other day, which really confused me. I'm just like, why don't I just run Blast at that point? But they were running Hex Fire Blast, which is kind of wild. Alessio also says, talking about shinies, I played 80% of the 3 hours and only got 3. The first one appeared after an hour and a half. What the heck? I was so scared they didn't turn on the shiny boost. I had to uninstall the app and install it again. Yeah. I assume for Jingbo community.
Oh man, yeah. Sometimes you just have really bad luck, unfortunately. Like I think we've all been there where we've had a community day where we like didn't get the shiny until like an hour or two in. Well, like, everyone else around you is like racking them up, and you have none.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad our bet is like a percentage transfer rather than like a set number. Because we got transfer 10. I'm like, that's all my shinies.
This is more than all my shiny.
Yeah, it's more than mine too. Debbie Pebble says Kaz has got the moves. Right.
Thank you, Debbie.
I was pretty impressed at how quick you just went for it, because I think there's a good percentage of the population of the world where if I put them on the spot like that, like, nah, I'm good.
Caleb would be nah, I'm good.
I'm not ashamed. I love my dumb dance moves. My husband will be the first to tell you how I'm always trying to get him to dance with me, and he's just like,
yeah. It's like you're like when I see those memes online, be like, social anxiety is scared of her.
Wait, so is it time stamped, or do I have to like go digging through the video?
I'm pretty. I don't know.
It's not timestamp, so time to dig. You got some time, right? Sushi Must Right says, y'all got to invite me to the Straka roasting sessions next time.
Oh yeah, that's my other local who I play with the most, and is always in my car whenever we drive to regionals.
I used to battle Sushi a lot in our locals. I actually battled her in the Cup in Atlanta too, right before the regional.
Yeah.
Old times. All right, Infamous Smash says, I work retail and 100% try to listen to regionals like a sports broadcast. Please consider radio Pokemon. Yeah, that's right. I mean, when I drove across the country from Atlanta to LA, I specifically was like, I don't want spoilers for this Vancouver regional, right? But I couldn't watch it because I couldn't watch it like live because I was driving and there were times I had to make big stops or I just wasn't caught up, right? Essentially, is what I'm saying. And so I like had all my notifications turned off, especially my group chat, because like Sydney's in like day 2 and stuff and doing well. So I was like, dude, I don't want to know like if she loses or what. And then like it was great because I didn't get it spoiled and she ended up winning it also. It was nice. So yeah, I think listening is fine.
Yeah, listening is fine because the thing is sometimes I have to work on Sundays. And so if it's an NA regional, depending on the time zone, like sometimes like usually grand finals or sometimes losers finals is like starting when I have to drive to work. And so I'll just like pull up the Twitch on my phone and just like not look at the video and just like listen. And like, it's obviously better to watch, but like most of the commentators like do a pretty good job that like you can still follow along decently well what's happening.
Yeah. This man said most. Let me know if I'm not in the most category.
He won't say who. But...
So we obviously didn't talk about this on this episode, but apparently Steve and Tristan talked offline about the Slowpoke bet, and I think we're going to axe that. So, but
wah, wah.
Yeah, was it you or was it Steve that didn't want to do it, or both?
It was both.
Oh, okay. You know what? We're the Slowpoke onesie at Worlds. I feel like that's pretty dope. You'll definitely get. You'll be memorable.
Yeah, you'll make an impression for sure.
I do think it's a pretty interesting potential bet that we do, but I have to figure out what we do it with. But I don't know. We'll think on it. I think it's a cool idea though that we could do like a Slowpoke showdown. Maybe it won't be like dressed up at Worlds or something like that. But would you be open to it if it's something stipulation where you wear the Slowpoke onesie somewhere? And it's all 4 of us participating in this so that there's a chance that any of us can lose.
Maybe. I don't know. We can talk about it more later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. Because we have some weeks before Worlds that we could do some fun content on while we're trying to process that, because I know last year we did a coverage of all different regions, but Kaz put it really well in our group chat where it was like part of it was like these three were just new co-hosts and stuff, so we never got to talk about it. Whereas this year we've been together for a full year now, and we've been talking about all these regions. We're just regurgitating stuff we talked about before. Whereas before it was like stuff I talked with Anacor about, right? So we'll figure it out. June Ho says, so the other EU player who qualified off 120 should be Boehm 20 after winning Lille. Yeah, that does make sense because he won the second regional, right, this year.
Yeah,
after Kazim won the first.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember I was listening, and you guys were like, "Who is it?" And I was like, "Guys, it's Boehm. It's Boehm. Come on."
It's been almost a year.
Come on, what happened to the steel trap?
The steel trap contains only what it contains, you know. Will Hutt says, didn't comment on the NASC recap, so I'll leave this here. Had a great time at the event, got to meet Steve and Kaz sitting in the crowd on Sunday. Chatted with Caleb before leaving, was also awesome. He cast my first stream match. Sadly, did not get to meet Tristan, but excellent run this year. And keep up the great content about Cats. Hope to see you all at future events. Well, hope to see you as well. I mean, you killed that at NAIC. I mean, losing to Elam is no shame in that, as someone that's never beat Elam myself either. Lost to Elam in a deep con. So, but yeah, went through a tough ride. Beat TT Ghost. He honestly didn't have any easy matchups besides maybe the first person that ran a Deoxys attack speed. I don't know, Deoxys, Gengar, Latias, Moltres, Best Buddy, Suicune, and Toxtricity. That looks like a 2-0 Butters team if I've seen one. But then had to face off against TT Ghostmaker, Onion Frank, Auburn, Elam, Jins, and a deep con. These were like
that's a run and a half. Wow.
I know. You know all those people. Yeah, they were not easy. Like if I saw that, I would not have a good time. But yeah, pretty good. And then also like at Atlanta too, I remember Will Hudd did well too. I was trying to pull up his Dracoviz while I was casting, and I couldn't find it. And it was because I kept typing Will with 2 L's instead of 1. So I was like, what? Yeah. Like, there's no way. This is this guy's first ever tournament. He's already in the winners finals versus Elam. Who is this guy? But then I was like, wait, no, I do remember him because I remember seeing him in the Atlanta bracket. So I knew I messed up somewhere. But he 2-0'd Poly right off the bat. Lost to Elite, 2-0'd Redmaster, August Isley, Alchemist PvP, and lost to a Dodge. So yeah, like I mean, really great run this year in general. And then played in Milwaukee as well. So
yeah, hope we see him at some more tournaments in the future. Yeah. Seems like he's had some good runs and could piece together good chunk of points next season if he goes to more events.
Oh, absolutely. Did you say Will Hudd was from Georgia or Atlanta?
I have no idea.
Maybe not. Maybe
I don't.
Oh no! I asked him about it. I think he told me he's from Charlotte. He's from South Carolina and North Carolina.
I was gonna say it's not Georgia, but I think it's like one of the Carolinas. I think it's nearby.
Charlotte, he said it's where he's from. But yeah, it was great to meet you too. And yeah. Unfortunately, couldn't meet Tristan, but he's too busy winning. But yeah, and then
shame on you, Tristan.
Last comment is from Tristan. It says, "I don't know. It sounds like Draka owes Kaz an apology for not being more social with her and for not listening to the podcast." Shake my head. He did say he's going to get back on it. So, and then Tristan says, "Caleb says he heard the last episode. But we're talking about Kanto Farfetch for bottle caps. I'm not sure about the supposed steel trap. Look, I listened to it, right, but." Well, what did I say about
you said Zimmy was going to ball cap a Galarian Farfetched.
Well, I was just saying that because that's his like main Pokemon of choice, right? Like he's never. I mean, I guess theoretically he could use a Galarian Farfetch, but also Galarian or Surfetch right now is not really meta relevant. So I guess neither are. Like it makes sense to go for Galarian Farfetch. I just thought Surfetch would be his way to go because he has like a really weird shiny Surfetch. It's like a 1474, like is what he keeps using. So I was like, easily a bottle cap can help that hit 1500, right? But I mean, if he's doing,
he's going for the Hundo Kanto. I think that's like his favorite one. I think the Kanto is actually his favorite, but then Surfetch was like the obviously viable one.
Yeah. Just also says, for the record, Steve has as many top 5 finishes as me and has 2 more top 3 finishes. So if anything, it seems unfair to me. You talk about the Slowpoke thing?
Yeah.
And then, also said, surprise Caleb hasn't heard of Wingspan. TBH, I've never played, but Polly has told me about it and how it's one of his favorite games. I think it's made by the same company that made Scythe. Yeah, Polly is a big, like, board game.
We have talked about Wingspan before.
I knew Paulie was a nerd from like the start, but like I really knew he was a nerd when he started naming all these obscure board games that I've never played. And not to say I've played a lot.
Every time we meet up for trades, I give him I try and convince him to get like either the mobile version or the Switch version so that we can just play online.
Yeah.
Come join the spreadsheet, Polly.
He's probably just afraid of falling asleep in a voice chat in the game.
That's fair. It's happened before with even like the people that I do play with.
Yeah. But I definitely was a well-cultured board game person after that. So I'm not on that level. I think I played more board games than the average person, but like not even anywhere near like that top like 5 percentile of people. If you look at regionals for the 2025 season, NA events are listed as 3 days and other regionals are listed as 2 days. So it seems nothing has changed. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. So yeah, it's because I did not realize that there aren't like there isn't anything going on in EU regionals or like really anywhere else on the Friday. For what it's worth too, it's not like there's that big, like there's big stuff happening on the Friday. Like if I'm competing at a regional, I'm just flying in on like Friday night usually or whatever, because or like whatever's the cheaper flight. But
yeah, for sure. But like I feel like it's more for the other games. Like there's people that'll go there and just grind side events like all day Friday for TCG or something.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, that's gonna do it for our YouTube comments. That's gonna do it for our episode. Looking forward to hear what people think about Aegislash, and
looking forward to seeing what happens with Aegislash, because it's
all of us are dying to know.
It's just a bucket of question marks, and like it could be insanely busted, or it could end up being not that good, or somewhere in between. I have no idea.
Yeah. I'm just I'm glad I don't have to worry about it for as a potential, as a competitor. But it will definitely be pretty prominent in my guesses in the Go Battle League. So be on the lookout for that. Is there any chance this thing has any Ultra League play? Maybe the TAC form, but it's probably just like way too frail still, right?
I mean, it's probably going to be less frail.
Here's what I don't understand, right? Okay, so I think Tristan's prediction might. I think it was Tristan that said this, where it starts out as shield form. I think that would make the most sense, because if you could start in any form, like what if you just bring a rank 1 Aegislash in Ultra Leagues is 0, 15, 14, level 40, right? 2,500 on the dot. If you bring that to Ultra League and and let's say if it could change forms, I don't know, right? But let's say if it could change forms mid battle and it goes to shield form, the shield form doesn't even hit like 2,000.
Yeah,
it's rank like level 1 best, level 51, 100% IVs is 1825. Like what's going to happen when that happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know in general, like, because just the CP difference is so massive between the two, because the one is super like bulk weighted and the other is super attack weighted. So like, I feel like they can't do like a clean like stat inversion like that. So like I don't really know
too, because I don't even understand, because like let's say Morpeko's different, because like when it changes it's still the same stat product, right? But if you change form, let's say even if you just start shield form in Great League and you change forms, what is the stat product that you're going to have in the Aegislash one? Is it okay, actually this is a great way to test it, right? So let's say you have let's say you have a rank 1 XL Aegislash shield, right? 0, 12, 15. I guess the easiest way to transform it into Aegislash blade is just keep the same stats. But then it becomes a 0, 12, 15 at 1484. So like you're just seeing the Aegislash go from 1499 to 1484 randomly. I mean, I guess that's not like the worst thing to happen, but like
it's better that than it going to like 2600 something. So like
that would be wild. Oh if that's the case, then we might have. I don't have any competitors here. Okay. So here, what if everyone's building their sword for the Ultra League variant? So you could run a level 46.5 at 0, 15, 14 for Aegislash. It's like a rank 2209. So it's not great. Why is it ranked so poorly? Oh, right, because I've actually pulled up. Yeah, it's probably still fairly ranked high in Great League. Let's say if you transform that into you can't even get to the level 46 version on Aegislash Blade. But if you do, it's literally going to be over 2,500 CP. Because at level 40, it's already that. That would be crazy. All of a sudden, like, it just becomes a power. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I don't envy the devs at Scopely to have to figure this out. And I'm sure they have something planned, but honestly, if it doesn't change forms, I know it's probably a little different than the lore and the main series game, but it would probably be for the best for PvP purposes. Like if it was a form change, kind of like Zamazenta, Zacian, whatever, something like that, like the crown forms, I think that's fine. But
yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, wild. Because the stats change so much, it's just complicated. But like, if they're able to find some sort of a like elegant balanced solution, that could be the most interesting. Because like we've talked repeatedly about how we want the game to like have more depth and like dynamics and skill expression, and like in theory, some sort of a mid-battle form change would meet that sort of desire, depending how it was implemented. But like again, it's just a big question marks of like, will there be a form change, or is it just going to be two totally separate forms? And then, if there's a form change, how the heck is it going to work?
I mean,
and then also, is it going to be banned for Worlds or not? Right? There's so many question marks right now.
I mean, the biggest problem with the form change is just the fact that, like, unlike Morpeko, you actually have stat changes. Like, Morpeko's stats don't change. The attack, the attack that it uses buffs its own attack, but, like, this is totally different.
Yeah, like, Aura Wheel, it just changes type, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just the type of the move. It's not even the type of the Pokemon. Yeah. It's not the stats, like...
Yeah.
So this one is so much more complicated. So I just really have no idea what the heck they're gonna do. But
yeah,
I hope, because I feel like a form change would be more interesting and exciting and dynamic. But I just worry about like how do you actually implement that in a way that works and is balanced and doesn't break the game and all those sort of things. So I just really don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting, that's for sure. And I mean, I hope they have a plan. I mean,
it's being released in 3 weeks, so I would really hope so. But if not, I guess they're going to be scrambling for the next 3 weeks.
Well, sounds like everyone competing at Worlds is scrambling for the next 3 weeks after that too. So honestly, I think if it's very volatile, it wouldn't even be a bad strategy to not run it. Because, like, if it doesn't have a ghost fast attack, like, you could just bring Dusclops and a ground user and you're fine, no? Like, it's like, okay, it's a slightly better Bastion, but Bastion still gets beat pretty hard by some things, And, yeah, I mean,
it does have, like, right, like, predicted moveset, which could change. Currently has, like, Fury Cutter, which is pretty strong right now, and then, like, Shadow Ball plus, like, I think some steel type charge moves, but again, that's just totally speculative, and that moveset could change before release as well. So like, don't get your hopes up or get too like focused in on what moves it may or may not get, because we've seen time and time again that these things change, and so there's like, it's just silly to like get upset about like a speculative moveset changing prior to release, because like things happen, and like, but there's people that are like still mad about like, oh, they changed like the Araquanid moveset prior to release or something, and it's like, that's so long ago, guys. Let's move on, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, let us know your thoughts down below, and yeah. We'll catch you all next week, and hopefully we'll have more info on this stuff. Get your star pieces ready, because there's a lot of Stardust events coming.
So. 2 different 4-time Stardust events. That's amazing.
You don't need
triple Stardust on Community Day. Like,
yeah. I need to recoup 1 million Stardust too after making that new Bastion, and obviously the 3 or the 9 straight months of not star piecing. So
Caleb's gonna like be like camping overnight at an Audino nest.
I mean, for what it's worth, I have like 11 million Stardust, so I'm fine. So that's why I'm not like super stressed. But yeah. Anyway, all right, we'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out.
Bye.